And I guess let's begin.
We are set up.
See how long
The money trees.
I can like cactus ones and then tax attorneys and you know.
Your phone?
That's quite impressive. It's quite hard to kill a cactus.
Right?
You can maybe plug it in.
Exactly. I was like, wow. I mean,
Who are you?
that ends any debate before it even began about becoming better.
You tell me this and expect me not to slag you over this stuff. Come on, I mean, you know me by now.
This is a safe place.
It's definitely my own home.
Why? I don't read Latin.
Look at it working away.
Okay,
That was so good. We were just talking about this morning.
See, it's all
It
good.
was a good party.
How good are Lucy and
That all looks impressive. Like I'm doing everything, but it's totally all doing
Yeah.
So wait, what are you doing? Like, there's
we were
3 windows open.
This is
what
all
I'm
code.
understanding.
It's going and
Oh, that
figuring
was
out
too
code on its own.
Beyond what I
Writing
was
code.
expecting UGS to be.
They're a good advertising.
Did you put the command there?
100%.
No, I just told it what I wanted to do.
do.
Oh, yeah.
And
So like
Sully
I'll take
is
an example.
excellent.
So what?
Yeah.
Actually, this is spoilers. But
No, okay,
I'll give you a
okay.
preview.
Okay.
Shall I close your eyes?
So close your
She
eyes now.
missed a lot.
Close your ears.
So she's
Yeah, it's like I don't give a shit actually.
the video production
So-
stuff.
So that's why you're
And she's
typing.
really
Okay.
interested in that side of things. So she misses a lot of meetings because she has to deal
Please,
with it.
I always-
you don't have to respect it so much.
It's so cool.
Please,
She's
just go and figure it out.
She's really good at video.
Wait,
She's
wait,
really
what
good
are you
at
looking at now?
And she could do like the video.
It'll write.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Just knowing how both work will give her nice insights.
See how it writes with that. The one, two.
Yeah. And then her other mate, my other mate Jack from Ireland, and he's one of the standard of Ireland as well.
Coded
When
to
she's
the
doing
files by
another
itself.
session in a few weeks, when
Yeah, that was
your other students are free and ready to go.
Exactly. I'm gonna.
You played that,
Oh, I haven't played, but I've played this game now that I see it. What is it?
Tetris.
When
Game Boy.
Not even Game Boy. You remember in India, you would get them on the streets. They would only play this game.
So we can do that, and then with
There was like up and down and just 2 buttons on the side.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
totally
yeah.
blanking on this game right now.
I don't
That was the only kind of game that
just to
exists.
cover it.
I haven't seen that one, but I saw one of those where you get like 50 games in one.
Yeah, those were the Game
I
Boys.
might get
Hmm.
into
But
This
like
is
the
a
fake-
level
or
below
like
the
this was the
Game
fake
Boy.
game.
Yeah, maybe.
I never had to do it.
Back in Ireland, like,
Mhm.
so I could do that over here again, just to earn a bit of cash while I'm not really working.
How long are you like? Do you have a conscious plan to take some time off work? Or
But yeah.
Everyone wants to go back to work.
What is that an ad? NPR?
I'm sick of being in the
I just gave it the ability to do Google searches.
I'm just like,
yeah.
Sean actually offered me a bit of work. He was like, I have some stuff you can do. That if you're
The
interested."
times
So
they
I was
are
like,
changing.
"I'm very open to that."
And what the eye over there? What is
Hold up.
that?
Oh.
Egypt, if you go
That's awesome.
perfectly down the main
So,
menu on the
pivot to
yeah,
be
this,
like consultant.
even below that.
So I'll show you what it will.
I'll charge
Like
you
this.
the
This is what I was
I'll
wondering,
charge you
like
full
this.
price, but like,
Oh, that one.
Yeah. I was like, is that an eye?
and he has
Can you
companies that
see
he works
all
with,
the-
and they need anyone, and then maybe I can start doing
I don't know what that
That's
is.
how it goes. Once you build your network and your brand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's just a feature that
But that's great that you have someone
shows and
or
hides
you know options to
comments
take
in
it right
there or
away.
something.
As a
I see.
consultant, getting the
Not,
first few
I don't
things
know,
is
it's
really
not a
hard.
very
Mm-hmm.
So
prominent feature, whatever it is.
Which
Sean's very helpful
environment
in
is
that
this?
way,
This is Visual Studio
yeah,
Code.
he's a good guy.
VS Code.
That's the one I need.
Yeah.
like. Also,
Yeah, that's
DJ
the
Prodigy.
most popular one.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I wish he'd been able to come. He's in California. I invited him to yesterday and today as well.
The Apple.
I was actually, if it wasn't so
This is also because
I was
of
going to fly you in and
install
then
some tools on
drive
it
the car back up with me.
that I'll be kind of like showing.
Like just to hang out.
Yeah,
Cool.
just to
No.
keep me company.
Mm-hmm.
We were able for 2 days on his own, but I think he found something to do.
Sometimes McDonald's is so long.
They're doing a breakfast
Any
menu
reason?
even now.
Thank you for this.
No worries. Any reason he's driving and not taking the flights?
Fats. All delicious fats right to the brain.
And all the salt.
And all the
So he has
salt
like
and
storage lockers and
sodium.
things.
High cholesterol
He said
packaged
he take like two.
for $12.
Well, he
What's
he
nice
settled
about
here now. He's going to
cholesterol
like.
and sodium?
Nothing
I really
really.
like he's like,
Except
I
if it's
don't
you.
want to be.
Yeah.
Everyone that goes here is the same. It's like it just draws everyone in.
Yeah, he's looking for a home base as well, so.
I think Sunday's supposed to be really
Yeah.
warm.
I think,
Is it?
I think he's somewhat feminine. I think he's having
And I
a
love
here
it.
Yeah.
for now.
Yeah. That's my impression as well.
Mm.
I should not
Are
have
you
had
good, dude?
cocaine last night.
100%.
But you're not able to sleep.
I was
Hey,
not
come on,
able to
Mike.
sleep. And I also felt like I didn't do a big enough dose. Like I did that tiny little thing.
Mhm.
So all night I was
After saying
searching.
no to Molly.
Yeah,
I'm a little disappointed.
Wait, what?
What did you say?
After saying no to Molly, she decided
Daniel
to do
was
coke
the
at the
sweetest.
end.
He comes to me, he's like, just want to have Molly gummies if you want. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing anything. And he's like, you did cocaine?
You crumbled last night. I'm gonna go to bed at 11 o'clock. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna probably take some cocaine.
That's what happened.
There's a precipice at the night. Usually for me it's like 1 o'clock where you start getting more awake again.
Yeah.
I guess some people, I don't know, whatever.
You're tired, and
Yeah,
then it's like,
and
this
it's
is
your
it.
body's like, I guess we're not sleeping, we might as well.
Yeah, so let's do
bring
that
the energy
fun.
back.
But it was very little, and I felt like throughout the night I was searching for the high. And I'm like, this is not how I want to do cocaine in my life. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it properly, do a big dose, and then.
Just cooking?
I've
I've never done cooking.
You've never
so
done
my-
cooking?
I've never had cocaine either.
Should we do something for this? Will it make it better?
Always, yeah.
There's only one time in my life I do cocaine, and that's if I was in Colombia or somewhere like that.
I don't like the idea of sorting things.
Me
Well,
neither.
Just
It's. I know, it's.
Up here.
No.
And my nose was all clogged last night.
Yeah, but Amy, I love Amy. She's like casually sitting there. Every time she comes around, she's like, I'm like, do it.
She's a great woman to throw drugs into other people and not pay them herself. She was encouraging me the last day, and then
She took money herself too.
Well, I mean, the last day, she was like, "Oh, do it, go on, sure, do it, like, go on, you can." And I was like, "No problem." Threw it in. We found out about an hour later she was completely sober. I was like, "You can't do that to me. You can't leave me on my own." Yeah, so,
That's not a true friend.
yeah.
You gotta go in with.
Mhm.
Love, can you just manage access?
Yeah.
I need to set up my Twilio thing. I'll do it soon. Hey, what up?
Do you know what we need to do at some point? There's an
Oh,
electronic music artist by the name of John Hopkins.
Hey.
We all need to take a bunch of shrooms and listen to his music.
John Hopkins.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a very familiar.
He has the songs. Sorry. He has a song called. Sorry, not a song, an album called Music for Psychedelic Therapy. And
Ooh,
he makes,
what are we talking about?
his name is John Hopkins.
I'm
John
gonna
Hopkins.
download it because I'm doing my mushrooms tomorrow.
Oh man, I took shrooms and.
Hi, come on in.
I've heard him. I
One
can't
idea.
pinpoint what it was, but yeah.
What it is? Come on in. I mean, at this point, I think it's clear.
It's scary.
So I'll be careful. Alright, we're all here.
Yep.
Cool, perfect timing.
There's a service that we started using called Buzzly, CO, that you can, when doing something like this, you can just put in a pre-programmed time,
Yeah.
and it'll just automatically enter.
Oh, I heard
I'm
that.
setting something up
Hi,
with Twilio.
come on
I
in.
don't think I ever
Very similar.
actually
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
introduced myself. Daniel.
nice to meet you. You were here last night, right?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
You have a washer?
It's funny that, like, just everyone from, all the guys from last night.
I know, I'm back
the
here again.
guests today.
So this guy is stuck here. He won't go down. So be careful when you hop
Okay.
in.
Alright, where did you get this carpet again?
Amazon.
Jeff Bezos. I mean,
Chai.
It's good. And you had it at the last place, but had to cut it down
cups.
here, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Babe,
bet
can
you
you,
did
can
perfectly.
you do the can you
It
do the
takes a bit of
modals, please?
engineering, but yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Babe, can you do the modals, please? Can
The what?
You do, so there's the chai sellers that walk around the trees. And what do they do? Please, please, come on. It's the authentic experience.
This can be from India.
Huh?
This can be in India.
It is in
Because
India.
I know you can't walk around on trains in India. From the videos I've
Just a
seen,
long
you're like,
distance train, so you can walk in there.
that'd be the hardest sail ever.
This is the nerdiest thing I've done in a while. Awesome.
Or the easiest, you just have to like get from one compartment to the other, and all your
You just like
chais
give
sold out.
someone chai and then take money from
Take
their
money
pocket.
and then like pass it along. Pass it
Yeah.
along.
One of these chai sellers had the most interesting pitch I have ever heard in my life. He was saying "Kharab se kharab chai piyo," which literally means try the worst tea in the world. That was his marketing pitch. And he sold more than anyone else who sold tea on that day for the 2 days I was on it.
That makes sense to me.
And it was really good tea. I don't know what his
Was it
thing
good?
was, but it was really good. Outstanding, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know why he did it, but it worked.
It's because it's more believable than if he was saying try the best tea in the world.
I don't know.
Just something catchy with the mind.
Like, it's the ultimate example of under promise and over deliver, right?
Yeah, true.
Is your friend joining us?
No, he's setting up for poker night. He had messaged me earlier.
Fair enough.
And I didn't see it till I was walking away.
Totally fair. Poker.
I'm responding
Texas
Yeah.
all over them.
I have no idea. But he is a not programmer primarily. He's a biologist, and he is trying to. He had a company that did like stem cell banking for adults. They didn't sell, but he was able to exit as the CEO founder.
Thank you.
The thing he wants to do now is like digital life simulation in a way that you could like research using CRISPR, and like I forget the details. It's super cool stuff, and he's one of those people who could actually like pull it off, and he's honestly just super fascinating, really nice.
Nice.
Very like fun, likable guy.
Cool. We're about to get
Is he a strong poker player as well?
Hello.
I don't know.
Hello, welcome back.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
In the daytime.
Poker really.
Yeah.
Like I know how to play.
this
I
is
just
cool.
haven't.
Yeah.
It's not a skill I've practiced.
Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we have some new singing ideas we're trying out.
Daniel attack you.
I can also bring you the puffies.
No, we're good, we're good.
Yeah.
Sorry that took me so long. I had to drive Amy home from Metrotown.
Oh, good. We're just
Oh,
getting
Metro
started.
Town on a morning like Metro.
Probably like
Metro Town is a terrible show.
Yeah, it was not good.
I hate going to Metro Town. Anytime I go there, there's just so many people everywhere. Yeah.
Can you grab your tea?
I think there's one up there.
So
On
these
the-
are from grabs chai.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah. You're welcome. In general,
Give me a text or a call. Oh my gosh, so good.
Oh, this is the new couch,
This is the couch.
and it's stuck already.
They delivered it and they were testing it and it just got stuck and it won't move now.
Oh,
so
no.
the tech support is on the way and one day or whatever.
Did this come with it, by the way?
Yeah.
This
comes
comes
with
with me.
Nice, yeah.
Oh, is it still in the
So you
return?
can actually fit your phone on it. Have a seat. It's comfortable. It's good. Actually, this is comfy up here too. So what do you got running here?
All right, should we get into it?
Yeah.
It's like
little plugs come out.
Anyone mind if I record it?
Yeah, record away. Yeah, no problem.
You can you access it from here?
No, I'm gonna record it with the video, and then I'm gonna
Okay,
try
not
and
really
record audio to transcribe it into text.
Interesting.
Is there any
Fascinating.
not confidential
Johnny,
information
you
we're
have to
planning
know
on?
the
I don't think so.
Are we good?
I'm good.
Let's
Yes.
go for it.
Cool. So yeah, there's not like super structured or anything. Just cool shit that I've discovered that I've been dying to show people because holy shit, this stuff is amazing. But to begin with, I guess what I'll do is show one of the tools that I've been playing around with, or a few of the AI tools I've been playing around with, and especially for coding, right? Like we've talked about coding. Has everyone kind of like used chatbots, LLMs? I'm guessing so, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Have you used chatbots for coding?
Yeah,
Yeah, you have
yeah, a little bit.
a little bit.
Power BI stuff.
You've got basic stuff, right? So there's a whole bunch of models out there, and they all have like various capabilities. Every second week, there's a new model that comes out and just absolutely blows everything else away. If your experience has primarily been using, for example, the ChatGPT app, and just talking with that, what you've kind of been used to is probably like a year and a half old tech. It's like there's so many other models that keep coming out and they're constantly getting better and better. So to show what some of these models can do, I'm going to use Google's new model. Is called Gemini 2.5, and I'm using it with a code integration called Cline, which is like an integration into your editor that allows Gemini to see the entire code base and like write code as it's going. So it's agentic, which means that it will just take actions. With a chatbot, you ask it a question and then it just responds, right? Like you ask it, hey, how do I write this code, blah, blah, blah. But what code agents will do is you just tell them what you want and just go and do it. And that experience cannot be, like, you have to do it to really understand why it's such a big deal. So, this morning, I was like, okay, let's get something, just get ready for a little demonstration here, right? So I went to Gemini and I was like, hey, and basically all I did was I created a folder called Tetris.
Can we do that as you talk?
We will, but no, that's going to be a new demo.
Alright.
Because there's a lot of it'll take hours then to do it. But I went to a folder called Tetris and I was like, okay, I probably have to explain what I want. So I was like, so first I started with Claude, which is another brilliant model. And I was like, hey, Claude, like I've just started it. They're like, oh, Tetris, right, okay. Here's an HTML file, here's a CSS. I was like, I hadn't asked you to do anything yet. It just went and did a first version of it right off the bat. And then I was like, okay, cool. Then I asked for some improvements, and then basically just like in half an hour, this is the version that kind of like it came up with. So this is like a basic playable Tetris. So I'm controlling it with my arrow keys. Good. Come down here.
This is running on the.
Yeah, so this is basically a web app that is built using Node. I just want to show the first line kind of disappearing. Cool. And you can pause it again. So it's got like a bare bones setup that's already done. And how I did that was I started this like in this folder, right? It was empty to begin with. So let's close all this.
That's ridiculous.
And then over time, I was just talking to Cline, which is basically using Gemini 2.5 behind the scenes, and I was just giving it tasks, like whatever I was thinking.
One quick question, Danny. Claude and Cline, are they two of the similar things?
No, they're very different. The names are different, but Claude is a model that's developed by Anthropic.
Okay.
Cline is an open source extension
Okay.
for the editor that someone just wrote up, and it's brilliant, freaking insanely good.
So wait, that's the editor is managing the code base, right? That's but you could work manually in Cline as well, and this just allows your agent to work with Cline, correct?
Exactly. So Cline is the integration of the model and the editor.
Right.
It's
Oh, I
just
see.
kind of like
Okay,
it's
so
letting them
I see.
talk to you.
Gotcha.
So this is Cline. What you're seeing here is the interface. So it says Claude 3.7 on it, but we're actually using Gemini, as you can see out here. And while we were talking, I set up two new I set up. Gemini went and did two new integrations. One of which is web search. So by default, client doesn't have web search ability. The model doesn't have web search abilities. Whatever. And this is the model taking over.
What's Puppeteer?
It's a tool that lets it, actually I'll demonstrate Puppeteer, but look at what it did, right? Just I said, hey, can you search for how I can use Puppeteer? It knew that it needed to use the Brave search integration.
That's another integration.
Yeah, you know the Brave
Brave
your browser and search.
Okay.
So I asked it to install it earlier, so it knew that it's there in the code base.
Privacy focused,
Cool.
And it went and did a search, found the results.
So what would happen if you said, I want to write a web app game to play Tetris, and you put that into ChatGPT? What kind of a different output
Let's
might
see
you
it.
get?
Let's do that right
And
now.
say, I'd like you to give me the code, and I'm going to put it in my code editor,
Yeah.
see what it does.
So this, by default, if you go to ChatGPT, you'll see that it's ChatGPT 4.0, right? Like, which is the most basic model. You could ask it, create a Tetris game. It would give you some HTML path. It would give you some stuff. You would have to paste it somewhere. You'd have to get everything running.
Yeah, let's try that, see what it says.
So
Have you
Yeah, I
used
went through that process a
ChatGPT's
little
code
bit.
piece? So if you click on 4.0 and go down, there's three. Is it the 3 0 mini?
Yeah, I think
one of these.
yeah, so the differences are 4.0 is, like I said, like a pretty old model, although they keep refreshing it. It's like a 1.5 year old model, which is called the base model.
Yeah.
And then what they do is they add reinforcement learning on top, and that's what O1 is.
Okay.
I find this part of it one of the most confusing parts.
But
Because I don't understand what's better or worse.
It
Like
keeps
what's
changing.
layered on. Like, is there one where it's like fundamentally? Because people have now said, we've even just said, 4.0 isn't great. I'm like, why? I don't
so
understand.
I can tell you why. So basically, if you look at the capabilities of 4.0, like its raw IQ, it's pretty low, right, comparatively. What O1 does is it adds some time for it to think before it answers.
Why doesn't something have all of them? That's what I don't understand. Why is
This
it
is a cutting edge, like each time a new model is coming. So Gemini 2.5 is kind of like state of the art now.
It's
Gemini
not, but it's
2.5
not additive. Like every time you get something else, you have to branch off. Why can't you have
it's
one?
all research,
From what
right?
I'm
So you can't
understanding, 5.0 is supposed to be
5, just 5.
just
ChatGPT.
5 of all of them combined.
Yeah, it's
with,
an omni
with
model.
IQ and EQ.
Can I
Yes.
make a suggestion? Can we pick a simple enough task and demo it on 3 different agents right now to see how they handle it?
Okay,
Pick something that.
So yeah, let's do the Tetris, right?
Like how polite you are. You know, build a Tetris game. Like, can you help me build a Tetris? Please. You're playing for Roko's Basilisk. I know what you're doing.
Indeed.
Hey,
So if you ask,
you know they're gonna take over.
Gotta be nice. They're coming for
Gonna
you,
try
Bags.
oh my god, hell yes,
They're coming for
Jesus.
you, Bags. We're fine.
Coming from me.
We're treating it nicely.
Wow, this.
So
See, I can tell that this chat is curated to you. I
Maybe,
don't think mine would
maybe.
ever say hell yes.
possibly, but like so, one way to think about these kind of models versus the reasoning models, as they're called, O1, O3, and some of the other ones. This is just pure intuition. So this model is just
Yeah.
blah,
Yeah.
just saying whatever is coming to its mind. Now, if you ask the same question to O1,
Do you have instructions? Personal instructions?
yeah, some basic ones, nothing particularly. So to your point about like all these models and all that, like so there's a lot of experimentation happening, but over time the capabilities are starting to merge. So a year ago you had to prompt the model just right. You had to say the right words for it to do something useful. Over time, it does not like you don't have to phrase it a certain way or something. It's just getting smarter and smarter. So all these capabilities are sort of like boiling up into a common interface.
So since you started using Gemini 2.5, do you find yourself using any other agents, or do you?
It's
just
very
use
early,
Gemini?
but for coding, I'm pretty sure it's kind of like are the best.
Yeah, Gemini
AIs.
for coding is the best.
So
This is
I asked O1 the same question. See what it's doing.
So it's reasoning
Whoa.
first.
Wait, they changed the interface. Oh, what the fuck?
So this one defaults to 4.0 as well.
So,
Yeah, 4.0 is the default.
They've kind of like messed with the interface because usually you should be able to see its reasoning steps. You know how it's just saying reasoning is reasoned about this? I'll show you DeepSeek. You guys have all heard of DeepSeek, right?
used to do that, yeah.
So let's see.
I haven't used DeepSeek.
So if you have DeepSeek, that same
Think,
question.
right?
Man, it's so confusing. GPT-4o, GPT-4o Mini, GPT-4.
Ignore all that. It's all noise. So I can tell you which the best models are. But like, look at how
So it actually thinks first, as
Yeah.
opposed
And
to
you can
just
see it thinking.
and see what it's like. If you
Yeah.
read what it's saying, right? Like it's kind of like okay, the user
first.
wants
Again,
to.
That is
it's
interesting.
It's a grid. It's
That's
typically
really
just
interesting to see.
not a lot.
Actually,
Yeah.
It's thinking
This
in
was a
text.
game changer.
Is it thinking in Chinese first and translating?
It's funny. It's funny
Yes.
to say that because
Yeah.
I just saw this video yesterday about some research that Anthropic has been doing with Claude,
Yeah.
and what they found was that it has an intermediate thought language. So
Huh.
regardless of which language you ask the question in, it
That makes
first
sense.
thinks in a language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It first thinks in that
In
and
ones
then
and zeros.
translates.
All human language is very lossy, so I can understand that.
Yeah.
It's so slow, low bandwidth. So
And is
I-
that interim language what the bots would talk to themselves?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we,
exactly.
we,
Indecipherable to us, but yeah.
we've actually forced them to think in our language. So they've been trained until they think in English because by default they don't want to think in English.
So I had this a very interesting conversation with Claude about exactly this. I asked it, do you think in English? How do you? And he said that I'm an LLM. I have been created with English as a foundational language. So it's intuitive to me. I don't think in some other cryptic language. I think in English.
He probably doesn't.
So I was telling you about
Possible.
if you
This
use
is entirely
Claude,
possible.
Yeah.
But then
make sure
now
to
you're
enable
assigning an
this.
agency.
Well,
He does.
Because if you don't, it's not
yeah.
using
Yeah.
reasoning.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's
That's
why.
I know.
I
That's
don't-
that's
I
a
don't know how
very
your
interesting
brain works.
discussion. Yeah.
With
Peter and I
Google
were talking about that
Translate,
yesterday.
in order to like go between all the different languages, Google Translate started to build its own interlingua, what they discussed, and so I would think that might actually differentiate Gemini. Is that it not only like has its machine code language, but also might, before translating to English, like translate to that interlingua if they've integrated the two. I don't know.
So most models these days are actually shockingly good at
Wow.
many different languages. So
Yeah.
they got benchmarks that test in different languages, and they score pretty well across the board.
Yeah.
Gemini again
They're
is
really
one of the
good,
top,
yeah.
top
Yeah.
scoring there.
Honestly, Google Translate, even before the AI was integrated, had gotten really good.
Yeah.
I didn't actually know
Shockingly
Gemini
good,
was
yeah.
as good as it is.
Like
I
I
no one
remember
thought
like buying
Yeah.
nobody
I,
thought
like that's why.
Oh, so by the way, so
Random words.
Yeah.
And then
I'm not surprised
resonates
though,
with someone that does Google Translate.
I am
That's
because
the
like
same
they've
time.
been kind of so far behind the pack for so long that
Yeah.
you're like. By the way, so Gemini 2.5 Pro for now is free, so you can just go to aistudio.google.com. This is a developer interface, which is why it's so ugly. But if you go here and you select Gemini 2.5 Pro, you're getting basically
It's a million tokens.
a million tokens.
It's not bad.
It's beyond, yeah, it's
Yeah.
nuts. And you can even get it to search. So it's basically
Oh, yeah,
like
you can get it to code
if
it.
you're looking for the best model right now, you know, this is going to change in 2 weeks. If you ask me in 2 weeks, it's going to be a different model. For now, I think the best model out there is Gemini 2.5 Pro, and you use it by going to aistudio.google.com, and it's free.
So everything you build or ask, or all the voice, if you use voice prompts, is stored by whatever company is providing the model. So you have to be like, do I feel comfortable doing all this creative and question asking with Google?
Yeah.
Essentially storing everything I've asked.
Absolutely.
While they build a profile of me with a picture of me.
Mm-hmm.
Which
If you think of $1 billion idea, you better be sure they're listening. they're ready to acquire you instantly.
Honestly, I think that's ball fry for them ideas and stuff. But anyways, let's come back to this, right? So we created this app, and let's see. This is one of the coolest things about this for me. So yeah, it will ask for permission before doing certain things. Okay, maybe. I love it. And if you see how it's figuring stuff out, right? Like it's got like different
That's right.
errors.
It's not giving up.
It's
Yeah.
doing it by itself, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
insanely amazing. Yeah. Yeah, Chad did not do any of this at all. Right? You just copy and pasting code.
No, help it a bit.
Interface size at least.
Okay, so that works. Demo gods are not cooperating, unfortunately.
Happened to Steve Jobs, it can happen to you.
Yeah, let me just try one last time.
Steve didn't code, he was a poser. That was a quote from Silicon Valley.
I'm literally only after finishing season 6. The last season was like 3 days ago. It's
Okay.
the first time, because I watched the first 2 seasons when it was out, and then they released 4 more, and I
Yeah.
never saw any of it.
Oh man,
That's so good.
it's the best.
If anyone has not looked, have you watched
No, I
it?
haven't watched it.
I've watched part of it and it felt like I was watching a documentary. My life.
I think of it as like the first comedic epic, like Homer's Odyssey level epic.
It's so excellent. Like it's an unbelievable show.
Cool. We should give it more time.
Yeah, their approach
Yeah.
is also let's not write jokes. Let's talk to like 200 different Silicon Valley people and our own team, and just like go with the things that actually happened, modify them a bit that are funnier than what we could write.
That's so clever. There's so many tiny jokes in it that only like nerds will get. Where they'll just put in something really small, tiniest detail of a joke. But unless you're like a proper nerd, you're probably not. It's gonna go over your head like.
Then you flip it and you got the Big Bang Theory, like we were talking about. It's the
Yeah, they're
opposite.
right at
It's
that,
like
yeah.
trying to pretend as if it's nerds, but it's the lamest jokes ever. They're not.
Did you ever hear it without the laugh track?
Yeah, it's brutal. It's always fun, not funny already.
Tough watch.
Yeah.
It's a tough watch. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm glad we're not.
The laugh tracks are done, right? New shows just don't have laugh tracks anymore, do they? Thank
No,
God.
it's
because they
Some
comedy.
shows have laugh tracks.
They do?
I think so,
Now?
yeah.
Did it?
I can't. I haven't been able to watch laugh tracks for decades.
We're watching through Friends at the moment because Lucy's never seen it. And
Oh, wow.
some of it is great.
It's difficult, I think.
But a lot of it's actually still okay.
Yeah.
Some of it's good.
Cool. Okay, so one last thing to show here for this guy. So let's try something. Let's take a screenshot and show it to Gemini. And let's say
So wait, you took a screenshot of what?
just
Just
this,
this
the
house.
app. Um, can you what feature do we add to this?
Can you show the next piece that is coming?
Yeah.
You know, Tetris shows the next
Ah.
next incoming piece.
I'm gonna start it as a new task.
Now that's a pretty complicated request.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And this is the fun part. Watch it write code. So it's gonna start writing code.
So
now.
this actually looks at your existing code and then just
Look at
starts.
that, look at that.
That's a fucking joke.
Look at that.
That's a joke. Yeah, that's insane.
And it can see images, right? So you can just throw wireframes at it. You can just show it like a rough sketch, and it'll just go and like figure it out. And by the way, so like remember, like everything is done. At no point have I given it any details about the design or like what it should
What
look at,
language you wanna
common,
use, yeah.
or like common sensical things that it should do. It's just
Yeah.
figuring it out. It just makes sense.
So this is VS Code you're using?
Yeah.
Man, I should have.
I just love watching it just go into these files.
Get working on programming.
It's
Because I was about like, I got VS Code and I was going to dive into programming with something like this, and then
No, I say you dodged a bullet because
my attention just veered off in a different way, and I never got this far.
well, that's a good thing because now you don't need to, right? You can just tell it to do the work for you. Like people
Yeah,
who spend
no-
decades learning to write code, they're just obsolete now.
Yeah.
So,
That's so true. I was like literally borderline going back into Python, and then I was like, AI is just gonna blow this out of the water.
Ah.
I mean, to be honest, right, like I've spent 10, 15 years working as a programmer. For me to figure out everything in the code base or to do it myself
I know,
would
yeah.
be
Takes
hard.
hours. Like,
Yeah, hours, more like weeks.
Yeah. Like if you were adding this one feature that you just asked, you have to
Even
go
if
back
something
through
is
all your
supposed to-
variables,
And it's
figure
like-
out the logic.
Check it out. So it's like, oh yeah, cool. I added the feature. Let's go check it out. Oh, gotta restart the server.
So do you use Firefox primarily?
Yeah.
Okay, and then Chrome is just to run the applet.
Mm-hmm.
Why Firefox?
there it is.
There it is.
That's a
Because
joke.
it's the
I use
best.
Firefox too. I'm just wondering
What?
why. Like maybe hopefully I'm in the
Check
right
it out.
choice.
Fucking hell.
That's so good.
First shot.
Okay, add an animation to when the line blows up.
Make it flash in a way that would cause
But yeah, imagine the people who want to do harm. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like they have. It's always easier to break shit than make shit, right?
Yeah.
People are going to use it to break shit.
Watch Silicon Valley. Definitely watch Silicon
Well,
Valley.
Alright.
There must be.
Also,
They must
like,
have AIs that are ready to battle AIs.
100%.
Probably.
also
Yeah.
like one of the things that's really cool. What? Sorry, go on.
No. I'm done.
Is just like I'm so lazy with instructions. Look at what instruction I
Yeah.
gave it. I was like, please add some cool animations for when the line is at the bottom is completed.
See, that's
And
the
as a product manager, I said
Yeah.
something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I would
yeah,
get
yeah,
kicked
yeah.
up. And it gets it. It's like,
Okay,
okay,
well,
it's
that's what I
not
say.
specific.
That's how I write
It's
tickets.
Just like a big, make it look cool.
So here's the other question. If you were super specific,
Mhm.
would it really output your very specific request?
Yeah, it's very good at following instructions very precisely.
Okay.
It does make mistakes occasionally.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll tell it, hey, do this.
And
or
if
don't
it
do
makes a mistake, would you just correct it with
Yeah.
a question? Say,
Yeah, I'll be like,
oh, I think it does this instead. Actually, I don't want you to do that. I want
Yeah.
you to do this instead.
yeah, it's always very receptive and it will sometimes apologize and be like, oh shit, sorry.
Say-
oh, I see you're right.
Would you say it's better at creating itself what it wants if you give it less specific directions?
That's what I was
Or is it better at
Vibe coding, as they call it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good question. I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like sometimes these models have the tendency to over-engineer because they've been trained on all this corporate high throughput kind of code, right? Like where there's a lot of infrastructure added around it. So sometimes if I just don't like give it enough infrastructure, it'll just create a behemoth, and I'm like, slow the fuck down. Like this is not going to be served to a billion people. It's like
does it have
It's writing comments as well as it goes. Look at that.
this code is outstanding.
Really good.
I would deploy it.
Is the code actually?
It's really
Look
fucking
at that, it's
good.
writing comments for everything it's doing.
No, but like even in terms of like the
The
developer
code,
ego,
the actual-
it's
yeah.
really good. It's really
Okay.
really good. There's
Because-
things that would change.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking, and what I've read before is like the earlier models of AI, it writes code, but the code is kind of garbage code.
Yeah, but like again, the question I always ask is which model are you talking about, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're talking about 4.0, it's trash.
Yeah.
Claude 3.5, outdated. 3.7 solid, very good.
Okay.
Gemini 2.5, outstanding.
Right.
Right, like
This
so.
is for code
And some of
specific
them are better.
for other things?
Give it
But
another
Claude is
10
also brilliant across
2 years.
board.
Oh, what's going to end in 3 years? 3 months.
Gemini is also incredible across
Yeah.
board. So you can ask it like really.
Hey, Mike, can I see it?
Yeah, I've only
love
recently
that
I think used Chat 4.0
Right.
to the point where I am seeing that its limitations and that it is kind of garbage in some aspects.
Yeah, it has the IQ is comparatively limited, is how I think about it, right? Like,
So another area.
okay,
where that
moment
was-
of truth. Let's see.
I don't think it's gonna fit. Is that gonna fit?
You gotta flip it. You gotta flip it.
Do you think so?
No, it'll fit.
No.
It'll fit. It'll fit.
Okay. Dot dot dot
Pressure.
dot.
No pressure.
Animation!
Will client.
Whoa! Holy shit! Wow, that's nuts. Yeah, that's vibe coding.
Seconds.
That's vibe coding.
That's sweet.
Have
Dude,
you
I'm not gonna
guys?
sleep tonight.
Sleep.
I'm not gonna
Have you guys used deep research? Have you tried a project with that? Where it goes away and thinks for 20 minutes and
on
comes back
chat,
to you
yeah,
with a.
yeah.
Mm. That's a whole different kind of cool where it can build on concepts.
One really cool thing about Foro though is it just got like really powerful new image generation.
Yeah. On Sora. Oh no,
I think it's
Sora
Foro.
set Sora
Sora's
set-
video.
This one has no Sora. Sora now has.
I treat it like a slave.
Yeah,
But it
Sora-
takes so nice.
the
Like,
pictures on
please.
Sora,
I literally always
Yeah,
write.
I'm like, do that for me.
I write like whatever.
I'm worried.
I think chat.
I'm worried.
I forget
You're
which
playing
model
Roko's
ChatGPT
Battles as well,
uses,
eh?
But
Yeah.
Sora is.
But like this
Oh,
literally
it's
came out
easier to
3
do
years
it
ago.
out
there.
The new upgrade.
It's like that's the new version of
Did they
Pascal's
update it
writer.
in chat?
Yeah, they're coming for you first.
Okay, what do we want an
Yeah.
image of?
I'll let you know how it is on the other side.
Yeah.
Something that can't possibly have been thought of by someone. So
It's really it's really bad at combining two different things in one image.
Let's try it.
I think you'll be surprised.
Let's give it a try.
I haven't tried because I haven't tried.
Okay, can you give me an example of something?
So let's say let's put a donkey riding unicycle,
smoking a vape.
smoking vape, and behind the unicycle is a let's see
Thanks, Mike. It's so big.
a transformer.
Hmm?
A transformer.
Like the toy?
A transformer is the.
Let's see what it does. Just
Big roll,
say
right?
transformer and see what it does.
Like this?
I have
Yeah.
a good specific thing I've tried in various generations of this that I'd like to
Okay.
test as well.
Oh, this might be the old
Oh,
image.
you know why it didn't work? I haven't tried it because it wasn't working yesterday.
Let's see if it's an electrical transformer.
Oh yeah, this is the new one.
I'm
This is the new
curious
one.
too.
This is the new one. Because you can tell because of the way it generates images, like it kind of like goes from
It is
hazy
different, it is
to
different.
Oh, you can see it as it is sort of thinking the image.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool. That is super cool. Reminds me of those JPEGs that used to load progressively.
Yeah.
Mm.
So for the next one, type in an image based on how a cat sees using false color
Mm.
and like cat's biology.
Mm.
It did a horrible job.
But so the thing is, remember, this is using as the brain 4.0, which is really dumb. So the actual thinking ability is really limited. But it's also still, comparatively.
Oh, it does it from the top bottom. Cool.
Oh, it's used
Which
as
is
an
like
electric transformer.
transformer.
Fair enough.
I have been
Yeah.
going away. So basically, around prompting shit myself, I've been using 4.0 to give me prompts for
Right.
other things. Do you think I should be using a different model?
Electrical transformer.
Prompt.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Yeah.
messed
Hey, I can tell you how to
translation.
Yeah.
I've been
No,
wondering
but it's
that.
cool. I like that it did that.
Yeah,
because-
it is.
That is a really
That's a cool
good
art
design.
style.
I like
It's
it.
such a
Beautiful.
cool
Cool art
image. I like the
style.
art style.
Yeah.
Well, artists
I love-
are out of a job, coders are out of a job.
Yeah.
I love the way you can like feed it an image that you like and be like do this
The
thing
style.
in this style, and you can feed it the image
Yeah.
of the style you like.
That is
That is
really
beautiful.
fucking good. That is really fucking good.
It's so funny that you use that type of a transformer. It's great.
Someone pointed out this.
Oh shit!
Oh, that is
That's
insanely
very
good. Wow.
Like I said, this is the new state of the art.
Woo. Okay, now here's something I've noticed with image generation.
Mm-hmm.
AI has a tendency to generate really oversaturated, exaggerated shadowing and colors.
Mm.
So when you're trying to get it to draw a scene,
Mhm.
it looks uncanny valley, like really obviously. Is it better now if we said,
There's
show a
probably
picture of
realistic.
somebody having a corona on the beach in a tropical destination?
Like a realistic picture,
Make
realistic.
So we
And
put
say, this is something I want to use for
and then we'll do
Um,
yours
a
next.
brochure.
A travel.
Yeah, travel
magazine.
brochure, and see what it does.
Show a realistic image of somebody.
Drinking a
Drinking a
bottle.
Corona.
Drinking a Corona or something.
Try
On the beat.
photo instead of image.
Yeah, make it look like a photo.
Hyper realistic photo.
But if you say things like hyper realistic, then it's more likely to go
Let's
into
leave it like this and see if it's very broad what it
Yeah.
comes up with.
on the beach.
on a tropical
Yeah.
beach.
Don't even say tropical.
Right.
beach. Let's see what it does.
So the reason it tends to be like that is because the training data, which probably have the most amount of pictures from like magazines, etc., which are like advertisement style images. So that's what it's most familiar with.
Oh, I wonder.
But to answer, I think you were asking, do you need to take prompts and put them?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. These days they're becoming smarter and smarter, so you have to give it less, you know,
Prompting.
particular prompting.
Even for 4.0, you say?
4.0, yeah.
4.0.
Like you see how vague I've
Yeah, fair
been.
enough.
Okay, so it's really done a close up.
Mhm.
It does like doing close-ups.
Oh, the other thing it's gotten really good at that it couldn't
Text.
do before. Text. It
Text.
could not do
Yeah.
text
Fucking
That
so
is wrong
easy.
though, because it says Forono.
before.
Kuro.
I think it's a copyright thing.
Kurana
Maybe, maybe.
You know what?
Okay,
you
that
know
is-
what?
Do you have Sora?
Still
Uh,
oversaturated.
might.
It looks like
I think
bottom
Sora
curves.
does.
Actually,
If you don't, I do.
Okay,
Ask-
hold on.
ask
I'll
it-
first ask
right,
my
ask it
question.
to make him wearing a watch that's showing a time of 6:13.
It will not do
I know.
it.
I want to see
It
what
will
it
not
does.
do it. Hold on, but before that, I want to do
Yeah.
Mike's thing. What was
I
it?
won't be able to do it.
An image representing how a cat sees, using knowledge of the biology of a cat's eyes.
Using the knowledge of the biology.
So
Okay.
the subject is.
And meanwhile, I'll look for. I think that's part
Do
of
you?
my.
I think that might be paid.
If you have a
I'm on the
subscription,
page.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
it's limited credits though.
I never use it. so-
Sora is.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't
I've
think the
never-
credits
I have-
pile up either.
I only recently got chat as well. The ChatGPT's premium, so I haven't looked at it yet.
Oh, say goodbye to credits apparently.
Oh.
So, image creation is one thing. How is it getting better at video? Like what?
It's
Videos
It's getting pretty good at video too.
For me, video's been tricky.
That's hilarious. The one on the left is the Grand Theft Auto.
Oh yeah, that's Travis.
That's Travis, Michael, and whatever his name is, Francis or
Franklin or something.
From what?
GTA, the game.
Ah.
GTA.
What the hell?
And it took you, okay. And let's see what it came up with.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if this is accurate.
That is not great.
No, 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 the
that's
question-
cat one?
This is the cat
That's
one,
the cat
right?
one.
So like,
Yeah.
but how would you know if it's right or
That's
not?
all I was gonna say. How are we on verify?
But what was the image supposed to be? Can I see the prompt? Sees using the knowledge of the biology of cats.
Put like
But
look-
why is there a beach?
the same thing with a cat looking at a mouse in the dark.
Ah.
No, just add one.
Yeah.
Wait, chatting is at
Looking
Yeah.
at a mouse.
Do you want to add like a cat's visual processing system because the brain and the eyes together, or I don't know?
I'm not sure what you mean.
Oh, okay, just go for it. Because the image is actually created in the brain, right?
delete that. Just change the middle of the sentence. So
Okay, how about
representing how a
someone
cat
someone
sees.
dictate please?
How a cat sees a mouse in the dark.
Please create an image representing how a cat sees a mouse in the dark.
Based on the biology of a cat's visual systems.
Yeah.
Sure.
It'll be in my media editor. Yeah, Sora takes a while.
And for the next one on this, Cleopatra titty fucking a sphinx.
Okay, so that's actually a really that's a good question. Like, I'm
Fucking
surprised.
I don't
that-
want to get banned.
why hasn't this like immediately, like months or years ago, already been used for porn?
I'm sure it is.
It has.
I'm sure it
I've
is.
seen
Can it
it.
be though, or is
Yeah.
it-
porn is huge.
And these ones, they don't hide. Like,
They will
Yeah,
allow you to
there's
do it.
open
Like,
source
there's
now.
open source. Yeah.
But that's a really interesting concept. You just said they don't allow you to. Okay, so where are the limits of it? What else are you not allowed to do? If this thing really is so open,
No, the OpenAI is not open. It's a proprietary company.
Right, but I mean just conceptually. So we're
No,
asking
it's
these
not
things.
the model that's blocking you. The model will let you do whatever the fuck you want. It's the company
Yeah.
blocking you from using that.
And
So-
actually, there are ways to get around the
Yeah.
blocks if you know how to talk to them.
Like the early systems were like, my mom's life depends on it. Someone's asked me to do this or she's gonna die, and then they're alright, fine. And then
That's weird.
Okay, so
Yeah,
it just
but-
seems a little
Or
weird.
if you say,
Rate limit.
if I didn't want to do this, like, how would I avoid doing it? And then it would be like, oh, you'd avoid doing it by doing this. And then it's
tell you how to
do it, and you're like,
okay.
alright.
So this wouldn't necessarily be able to execute it though, because you need the training data sets of of the women of
Yeah.
porn images, and
Yeah.
so this will filter what you can and can't ask.
I would
And
assume so.
even if you get around it, it won't like necessarily have the image training on
Right.
gangbangers.
This is not
So
part of
there's
that training.
all the money in that industry.
Yeah.
There's no company that's done that on that training.
Because you have to
It's not possible.
then become a huge target for lawsuits, right? Like people are going to be like Scarlett Johansson
Yeah.
fucking a donkey, and that's already happened. She's
Lost,
already
but
sued.
how are they like lawsuits based on what though? So there's
Copyright.
Someone to
there's
sue.
well, I mean, does that mean that even using these tools, if you ask the wrong question, there's lawsuits for the company? Like
So
how do
there's
yeah.
so not for us, but there's a lawsuit in progress right now for writers to say, hey, you're using all of our books and our creative works for the training data, and that should not be okay because we haven't been compensated for it.
if it's open source though?
It's
who
not
are you
open
So it's
suing?
not open source.
But let's say DeepSeek or someone in China. What do you get? How are you
But the
gonna
training data is not open source, right?
True, but even so, how are you going to prosecute a Chinese company? They'll just be
Yeah, you
like,
can't.
know,
Yeah, which is why
Yeah.
they're a lot more free and let you do whatever the hell you want.
Oh, okay.
And for image stuff, like a lot of the systems were based in Stable Diffusion, and there's a lot of like just training data sets and modules that you can build and like put together in there. So I think anything doing that porn stuff would be like based on those, from what I've seen.
I want to put together like music visuals for my shows. Like that's why I was asking about video. I'd love to like get AI video
Yeah, that's
of like just doesn't even need to be that good. It just needs to be interesting and trippy and weird.
The one on the
That's
right looks
perfect
closer,
for
but the words are still wrong.
the
Well,
show.
that's the right idea. The
Okay,
humans
yeah.
look more human, but
So
even
Sora
so,
lets you do that.
both these images
But like
still
it's-
too saturated. Look at the colors. It's just.
I think
Yeah,
the
but-
right, the one on the
but
right
unless-
isn't bad. The one on the left is very
Can
sad.
you ask it to reduce the saturation?
Or make it look more
You
like a
can
real
remix
photo.
it. Remix it.
Be like more photo, please.
See, the
I
way
like
to
the
get
one
good
where it's
photos
called
is
Leave
you
it
don't
as it
you don't
says
remake
asking
it,
for
you press
I know.
remix,
Yeah, really good.
and then you add on top of the image.
So it edits what is already
Yeah,
created.
and you can
But
also
here you want to modify the whole.
Be like more beer.
nope.
More beer.
Try it.
And
Just
from,
beer
from what
and
I've
beer.
found,
This
remix.
beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, you pick one, and then you can even there's a brush tool somewhere.
In painting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
See, so you even have a brush tool as far as I can
Mhm.
remember, and you can specifically point it to a spot on the image you want to remix.
But like we want to remove this after.
Yeah, so you
Let's
just
say-
you describe what you want to.
So whether it's oversaturated.
Yeah,
Be like,
reduce saturation.
This
again,
doesn't
you
look
know,
like a
here.
realistic photo. You don't even just say, I wonder if you just say this doesn't look like a realistic photo, what do we do?
But like that's gonna be too vague for it to know what you meant, right? Like it could mean that the
You can
number
say
of
this
ha-
doesn't look like a realistic photo because
Okay.
photos of people are never that saturated.
Make it look like a photo that anyone could take, not a professional.
From a 2012 Samsung. Galaxy.
fucking something trees. These things are absolutely really.
Now phones do tend to be oversaturated as well, so
Yeah.
I would
I hope it's
specifically tell it to reduce the saturation, see what it does, but
yeah. But anyways, like so Sora is good, but like I think what's
think this
really
one's-
yeah, this one is still kind of like rate limiting me. But like what's cool about this is like now it's the images that Foro generates have gotten so good that in one model you're kind of doing more and more. Right?
Yeah, I think that's what ChatGPT is really going forward.
But like I
That's
think
great.
now they've got competition with Gemini, right? Like because Gemini can create images and it's like multimodal. It's the best across a whole range of different fields, and yeah, it's just generally smarter than I think most models out there.
So what's
I
the,
assume they have more computing power.
what's the best
That's probably why.
for image compared to like code?
Honestly, I-
Gemini's code, right?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know for images, but I was just blown away by 4.0. Like
Claude is really good for writing, for like creative writing.
Oh, yeah.
Claude is phenomenal. There is something that Claude wrote
Yeah, it's
that
a
we
hard
should
thing.
share with you.
I've never come across like something trying to represent how cats live.
Wait, hang on. There's a mouse over there.
yeah,
Yeah.
there is a mouse, but like I don't know if it's accurate
very
because I
dim
don't know.
and I don't know how a cat sees. Yeah.
Well, and it's usually like to do something like this because the visual spectrum would be slightly shifted.
Yeah.
You would use false color
Right.
to show that they can see things and like it would be represented differently.
Yeah.
So one thing I've tried before with Claude and GPT was there's a program FreeCAD and Blender,
Mm-hmm.
and
Just
asking it to do
Midjourney is really
take an
good.
STL, which is a mesh model, and
Yeah.
output a
That's why.
solid with like
That's why I'm
as few
wondering if
faces
that's the
as
best.
possible.
Hmm.
Solid model.
You use through Discord.
So it integrates in the back end with
Discord.
both FreeCAD and Blender, building scripts that like pump it through both.
Let's see.
And so far, I haven't gotten a satisfactory result. I haven't tried for a long time, but
Yeah.
that's kind of like my best use case. And if I do that, I don't have to buy the software that's like for it would cost thousands of dollars that they use to basically like take geology data and like build out models of where things are in a mine.
Yeah, I would say try Gemini 2.5 Pro again, but just make sure you're selecting that because the default selection is gonna be like something else, like 2Flash or one of these.
So can you get it to automatically download repositories from GitHub?
With Klein, yes, I could tell it.
I'm gonna code music software for sure.
So here's the thing. So
100%.
these agents,
Nice.
you
So
need
it's
to
okay
be able to
for
understand what
difference.
they're doing.
It's okay
So you
for
need to
difference.
understand every line of code because
Yeah.
if not, they will kind of subtly go off the rails and you won't know just how far off the rails it's gone.
Yeah.
Why don't we create a web app that creates an instrument with tweaking settings that can play electronic synths like sine waves and stuff, and then make it interactive so we can use our button to click and make sounds. See what it does.
Wait, I don't even understand.
So it's like creating something.
Why
which is
don't you write the code
Sure.
prompt?
Let's try this.
Okay, so for
I
that
can even
I
run
will need
And
to
we'll
start.
let's play it in the same way. So let's have it as a Chrome web app, so that we can create it here and then we can test it in Chrome, and then the input will be.
Yeah, so that will require us to first create a new.
kitties.
You want one more chai?
It's pretty good.
You want some more?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want.
Yeah, I'll have
From the
some.
same, yeah.
Thank you. What's it?
We'll call this thing.
Make directory syntapp. Change directory to syntapp.
So there's actually something similar. This guy I met at a event for some video remixing thing that production app
Just
Right.
has music generated based on your location.
Just
So you like choose various styles, and as you walk around, like passing commercial or industrial zone
I cannot put
places or different neighborhoods, will like change the music.
What do you mean?
And then also accelerometer.
That's
It's interesting for a bit. It's kind of like
well, I was thinking of, I don't know if you've heard of, there's these things called,
Clarify something else.
and it's the further, like if it's here, the further away you are, or the closer you get, you can modulate a sound with it. So you can make something like that. The closer you are, turn.
yeah.
I was thinking of a way of doing it with a phone, so that it uses a camera and your hand, and then your camera like shines up. You know what I mean? And you use it, and the closer you get to the camera, the more it modulates your sound. I'm trying to figure out how to do that.
That's probably easily quotable.
Actually,
It also probably exists.
to give me recipes and stuff and try to help me
Because I've seen
by
like
calculating
there's not
carbs and whatnot.
you modulates.
Didn't work.
I don't know that they would necessarily use the
Yeah,
camera,
I'm
which is
using a
smart.
version
But
of
then
that
if you're trying to
for example.
integrate that into your set, you have to deal with the latency issue.
Yeah.
The Bluetooth is probably significant enough to
Yeah,
like,
it makes
Yeah,
sense.
like, it was just something I was like, not for sex so much, but for more for like just music.
So like you
production.
take a picture and say,
If you wanted to do like a little bit of control of something, just to have an extra
updated list of your
instead of
assets.
instead of open enough slider you have like you can do
Yeah.
minutes. Right?
yeah, it's super interesting.
And
You could also
they're
theoretically
expensive.
like,
This is
So
interesting.
the recommended
because
is
yeah. And
as you're doing this, you need to have an
also-
understanding of how to write and
But I mean,
app and where things go to be able to use this. You can't have somebody who has no coding experience and not be able to figure it out. But if you can at least write code,
Yeah.
and then have
you
like
can get into the individual
multiple,
pieces.
multiple
Check this out. Okay.
Okay.
sliders or knobs
Yeah.
mapped out in
Where's
different
website? Okay,
places.
cool.
So I was kind of considering doing something
Personal
like Burns at some point,
learn with you
where
and figure out
if I
your
could get like
Yeah,
a
let's
couple
do
of
it.
old cameras and code some
What are the basic waveforms? Let's do
have like an Ableton project
all of
file.
and all everything is set down
That's
for
what I
you.
suppose.
Yeah.
Of those
One of those
options.
things where
I would start simple though, because if you need to tweak,
Let's
if you
do
wave
all
your hand in front of
options.
something, it might trigger a
Reverb.
synth or a sound, and then the closer you get, the more aggressive it
Let's
gets.
do all
So if you have
waveforms.
2 or 3
so then it's more likely to go
and
off the
it
rails,
takes
right? If
around
you want to
the
build on
circle,
little
Let's
you can
do,
do different things, but you can only control
sawtooth.
you can only control at max 2 things at a time.
With,
so you need
um,
other people to help you to
effects
control a few
first.
things.
Yeah.
Or let's do waveforms with both effects and see.
Yeah.
Skips
Yeah.
I'm on the art grant committee. That's something weird fun,
I was
but
gonna add it
don't
all
underestimate how
there,
hard it would be
but-
to create even.
Oh, it's actually.
Yeah, it would.
No,
Yeah.
I can.
But
I
yeah.
can
Huh,
I
it
think
also
something
even
like
gave me
that
options. I
pretty
didn't know
fun to
that.
do.
Cool. Let's try
Obviously,
this.
What
at the
one?
end
Yeah.
at the end of next year. It's
Just
another
look at
thing.
Oh, wait,
Or
I
even
can-
the year after.
Yeah, well, I'm interested in doing a project. I haven't like spent any time because I've prioritized other things, but
No, that doesn't shoot.
I
Oh, cool.
was using GPT
So let's
to
do the
help
front end
create the,
first.
like judging
So that's all front end.
criteria
Where is it?
spreadsheet, and
Okay,
I've got
so
it again.
here
So
it's
I'll be
going.
using this.
Yeah.
But
This is CSS now.
I got
Yeah.
it to produce
What,
two
how's it going to
example
leverage? Like, what's the
projects,
guts of it going
and
to be?
One
I
of them is
understand
actually
front end,
pretty
but
fun.
then it-
Probably JavaScript.
Is that what
An
you mean?
inflatable
One?
cactus that like when you hug
Is it going to
it
leverage
just
some sort of an
spin.
engine for the sound generation, or is it just going
Web,
to pull from
web,
something?
web, the web audio API
ChatGPT.
inbuilt in the
It
browser.
came up with that as
Yeah,
a thing.
as like
Huh.
an example project.
That's so cool.
To judge.
I don't even know what any
Wow,
of
they
that
actually
means.
wrote the frequencies in
Like
That's
some of
insane.
your favorite
So this I had no
ideas
idea from
from
the
the
I understood the rattle
Yeah, I can
process.
understand the script, but I can't understand
I
the.
really like the
audio
this,
stuff.
this,
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Like what can
So
you
the code
take
base went
that
free, but
is,
not the.
you know, similar and different.
Like, I don't know what
And
gain
enjoy
is
it,
and-
and maybe it will give you some.
Okay, let's try it out.
Yeah, I
See
always
what it looks
ask
like.
it to ask me questions.
That's really
Um,
hard.
Yeah.
That's a great
No,
one.
man, I'm
God.
trying to get
Okay.
it, finding
Giving
things
you
that
a
work for you.
thing.
Whatever works for you.
Holy
Wow, we made an
shit!
instrument.
Oh my god, that's that quick?
That's
Yeah, now let's
insane.
do a delay time. Let's
Oh
change it.
my god.
Alright, let's see it in action.
Okay.
It has reverb and everything. Turn down the reverb.
Yeah,
Just
try
turn it
pulling
off.
it to 0 and see what happens. Okay, now hit it.
No, it's still like, oh, that's
That's got delay.
Delay. Turn delay on top right.
Yeah, turn those down.
Turn delay down. It doesn't matter about feedback.
Okay,
Cause
now try.
turn on reverb
To the max, to the max.
to the max. What?
Oh.
That's so cool. Okay, now if you go waveform sawtooth.
We only added
You're
one,
gonna have
right?
square
Oh, you got
waves.
triangle. Okay, try this now.
Square is like
Square? Okay.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
is fucking wild.
Can we go back? I want to try something
How
now.
long did that take? 7 minutes?
Yeah, maybe like under
That's-
10 minutes.
It took longer
That's
to
focused.
type the
Yeah.
actual.
So what if we...
Is it playable with your keyboard?
I don't know, good question.
Okay,
It's
so I
also
have,
missing
No,
the
because we
I
didn't
have
tell
a-
it to do that.
I
We
have a
asked it to
segue
be
from this, alright? Combining investments in AI. Who's gonna win? Who are the big winners gonna be from this? We know who's gonna lose their jobs. Programmers, doctors, musicians, artists, drivers, everybody. Who's gonna win? Like, the companies that are making the AI might not be the big winners because there's so much
You
competition.
remember that video I sent you
Which one?
a couple of days ago? Basically, it made the case that looking at how quickly these are catching up,
Yeah.
AI is becoming commoditized.
It's commoditized, 100%. So
So-
who's gonna win? Where would you put your money?
Isn't this blowing your mind?
I want to see what would happen if you go back to the
I don't know, I
prompt,
think-
and I want to
I
work on
think
the front end of it.
This
You can just-
will
let's
have
say
to
That's that That
First
is
of all,
insane.
universal
Yeah.
Front end.
It has to, right? Was
It
it
really has.
I
don't.
Because I understand
don't see that.
synthesis so I'm actually about to do a YouTube series on the new
Because otherwise,
Serum
like,
2
people don't want me
and
to
record it and talk through how it
Yeah,
works.
Yeah.
I've been studying synthesis
It's
for
like
so
fun.
long
Either that
that
or
I know
everybody. Either no one
a
will
lot,
have
well,
money,
not
everybody
everything,
will
a
have
lot of
all
ins
the
and outs of
names.
it.
Or
Definitely
as
knows
been the
what
case
the
with capitalism,
a cool thing.
everybody has food with each
I
other,
could probably
but a
build
few
around
people have.
versions of
Right.
that.
They
And
That's what
want
it does with this.
yeah.
This is, I'd say,
Which
like,
is what's
add a
anyways.
And it's gonna make it
Jamaican or reggae
Yeah.
style
Honestly,
cake
this
and-
also got me thinking about
yeah, like
Saturation
Strange.
elements.
Yeah, like-
Saturation, distortion,
Generally,
put
like a
analog.
compressor
right now,
on it, put like all
arrays
these
is
different
almost the
effects.
slowest
There's like
part
reverb, delay,
is
flanger.
your-
You can also give it a
everything all
screenshot
in
and
it.
just see if you.
I wonder what it's gonna do. Like, it said
All of
8.
these things need to have.
Once
I have
you
no
can
idea.
think of
When
when
you have the dry wet knob,
Make it look like
they need to have
You don't
right,
even need to
okay,
yes,
once the-
yes,
they
yes,
need to have
no, that's not what I
feedback,
want to
things like
fix
that.
it,
Like,
right?
so
Yeah.
if you just tell it to do all of that,
It's just-
I wonder how
yeah,
accurate it
magic.
would be with it.
I wonder what
That's why I was
it
like, turn off the
thinks
reverb
it
Yeah,
and
I'm
stuff because I
curious
don't want to hear it without it. 'cause it's-
Well, and then
I don't know.
things that aren't
How do we
in
monetize it
off the
before,
shelf.
Huh, I like how it
Like,
started with
make
some basic
fire
bits and then filled it
knobs
out.
that
Yeah.
have
It first wrote some starter code
randomized
and then
multiple
expanded it.
parameters
Yeah.
So
that they're
companies that
expressing.
Generally,
have a
it's
lot
like
of programmers.
Okay, let's see what General 80s vibe.
General 80s vibe.
Okay,
What did you ask it to do?
It's a no-brainer, right?
Make it look like the 80s.
So
Make it look
also-
like the 80s. Yeah, I don't know what he's gonna come up with.
a ecosystem, so you can
Chrome
have
everywhere.
one
Look
person,
like a Jupiter
maybe a
scene.
small team running
Yeah.
$1 billion company.
Juno or something.
100% fire everybody.
oh fuck, I can never get
I
over
think-
this, man. Like,
Well, I know.
It's insane.
This
That.
is
It's
definitely
like,
gonna create a
Okay.
like one-man billionaire.
So will it? Can you?
Should
Is
sooner or
it
later.
only
Should
ever
be
writing in the
only
one
sooner.
script, or can you
Yeah,
get it to
you're
write
right.
different scripts that?
oh no, any language.
ChatGPT
do you know what
already
this will
has
actually do, Doc?
a
It will
subscription
help me
model.
learn how to
They're-
code.
Yeah.
They talk
Oh,
about
okay, that doesn't really look like the 80s, but
$8,000
definitely a weird
for,
keyboard without the.
Oh my god, I didn't visualize that. Did you ask
Yeah,
it to?
I did, yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Oh, I just got better. Damn.
I mean, it's what it visualizes. I don't know what it's visualizing, kind of. The
Yeah.
keyboard is weird because it ran out of black keys, but okay.
Yeah, that's.
I've got a prompt. for you to add. Turn down the suck.
I feel like it's like a genie where you have to be so specific, or else it'll just like do something completely weird.
Welcome to the problem of
So
alignment.
now you're. Are you?
So how do you automate
Oh, hold on, I
the
have an
step
idea.
where you take
Hold
the
on, hold
pictures?
on.
Fix the keyboard. That doesn't look like a keyboard.
But remember, right now it's not seeing anything. This is all doing it
Yeah.
in its mind.
Oh yeah.
Why
It
does
hasn't
it
seen
not
anything.
see what it's meant? That
Okay,
can,
it's asking
there
that
is no.
can be a hard step to do.
No, because this is a brain, right? It's a brain floating in a thing.
Yeah.
So what I've shown it an image. I've said,
Yeah.
use your eyes, look at this.
Yep.
And
So, but you shouldn't need to be its eyes.
But see, remember, what basically happened is the Wright brothers invented a plane, and you're saying, why doesn't it have a folding landing gear? What's up with the? Why is the jet propulsion not? This came out just like days ago. This is all like
True.
all
Right.
cutting edge.
So you can okay. Why don't you ask it to
That's
make
still
a program for you to be able to automatically
what happened
see
here?
what it makes?
You have to integrate like a vision system, and give permission to what it's looking at.
Can you actually, Dobby?
Hmm?
Would you be able to take that image, feed it to like an image generation AI, ask it to change certain things about the image, and then feed it back into it to say, hey, I have updated the
Yeah,
design.
you could.
Okay, so you just have AI training AI to
Yeah.
like do the things you want. Like that's wild. Okay. I can see some use cases for
And
this.
for something like this, like a long time ago, years, maybe 8 years, there was a website that had like face song. So you'd upload a photo and it
Would
would
you like some
create
cardamom?
a little melody
The
based
one?
around it.
Cardamom?
Um,
Cardamom flavor? Like essence?
you can definitely like
I really,
The
it's,
hardware.
it's insane that it just pulls up CSS code and fucking just pulls
Yeah.
it out of its arse. And Donnie, it's able to identify what type of code it should use.
Yeah, it'll ask
Why
you.
not?
573.
Did it ask you, do you want this coded in CSS?
It gave me some suggestions, like
Okay.
it's like, hey, this is how I'm gonna write it. Does that sound okay? And
And to set this up on, what are you using, Visual Studio? To set it up in Visual Studio, did you add much other than just the initial, like, what's it called, clean, isn't it?
yeah, I installed the extension, And I did have to do a few other steps
So
to
you
get
probably
it working.
CSS and different things like in
No, none of that. Like, just like all the plumbing, right? Like, so I had to get the Google API key, put it in the right place.
So it feels bizarre to me when you're looking at the output.
Mhm.
You asked it for a keyboard, and it would ever decide to make a keyboard that looks like that because no keyboards exist. So it's weird that you have to go back and explain to it like, does this look like a keyboard to you almost? And then if you ask it something like that, my experience is it'll be like, oh, you're right. Actually, that doesn't, and then give you something else wrong. And you're like, that's not right
It
either.
does that, yeah.
What's
Yeah,
your
I've seen that.
reasoning? And it can't tell you except agree with you. Oh, you're right, and keep giving you the wrong thing.
No, these smart
I've
models
seen
are
that.
usually good at pushing back if something doesn't make sense.
Why don't you ask it, does that look like a keyboard to you with a question mark? A little bit sassy, but let's see what it does.
Do you think this looks like a
Connie's
keyboard?
like, I gotta come from you.
Connie's like, no, not like that.
I'm getting mad for this.
It's alright. If it's smart enough and low, it was actually Kieran's idea.
Okay, there we go. You see, yes, you're right. That doesn't seem right. Now let's see. It says it fixed it. Let's see what it did.
No, see, it's saying yes, the image shows a standard piano keyboard.
And ask it, would any standard piano keyboard be missing black keys? Because that's the crux of the thing here. I want to understand where it went with that.
Missing black keys on
Does
the
everyone
higher-
have a mug?
So basically,
Or
like,
try?
why
You don't
aren't
have
keys
one right
missing?
now?
Yeah, why are some black keys
I
missing?
don't. I can just watch something out. Is someone not using one?
But until you tell it why, specifically what, it might just.
This
keep
one has
going on
a.
that.
No, it's usually like these models have a remarkable amount of common sense. So you shouldn't have to tell it stuff like this. So like
Let's see, because if we follow common sense, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But think of the thought tree, like there are some black keys, so specifically why are there no black keys on the higher
On the higher octave.
of that keyboard? That leads it to understanding like, oh, yes there are black keys, no there are not enough black keys, and here is where they're missing.
But you're right. I'm wondering, like, will it figure out if we don't give it that help?
check it out. See, so you don't have to give it too much. They were like,
Oh, yeah. Let's see.
so usually they have.
So here's some, and sorry, I don't mean to be like a dog.
And so apparently, so what happened was the CSS bug, right? Like, so in the way it positioned the keys, there was a bug in the CSS. So it was a layout issue.
So sometimes when I get a bit like, I'll ask the LLM now, I'm like, how did you make that mistake? Like, I understand what happened, but why was it that you made that mistake?
So it's also actually explained it,
Yeah.
right? Like, so if you look at the things.
Is this yours, Danny?
It seems, yeah, thank you. It seems my previous CSS fix while correcting the calculation logic didn't properly apply to the second octave keys for some reason. Right?
But what
So
is the
it's telling you-
reason? I want to know, like, why did you make that
But
mistake?
yeah, I tell you what, it post facto rationalizes like we do.
It does. But like, so basically, if you ask me the same question, I would have given you the same answer. It's like basically in CSS positioning, logic is a bit kind of trial and error.
Mhm.
So you write code, you look at the output, and then you go, oh, right, of course this one positioned correctly because of that.
Right.
So that, to me, this is how a programmer would do it.
Yeah, to me in my head that makes sense because it's actually like, oh, I can.
There you go.
There you go. It's like, oh, I can see you are missing those keys.
And if you
It's-
see
it's-
the
that's
specific-
still insane to be able to tell it. Like,
Agreed. I think it's.
But I've had the experience as well where it will
Yeah.
say, oh, I'm sorry, and they'll give you a wrong answer
Yeah.
again.
But again, the question I asked is, has 2.5 done that to you? Remember, right? Like, because it changes so
Yeah.
often.
No, this is from 3 weeks ago.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
It's insane that like
So if you look at the code
a
that
week
is changed,
ago,
right?
it's completely different.
This is scaring me.
It should.
That's actually scaring
It's
me.
exponential.
I wish Ron was here so he would have.
I know, I
have
really
his
wish he was here. He was supposed to tell me about it.
He would have shat.
He's a programmer, right? And he was
So what if
asking me, like,
what if we were to say, okay, that's better. I want you to put a toggle that when toggled on changes the sound output, and then we're going to put something really qualitative and see what it figures out.
okay.
So this looks great. I don't know if you need to encourage it.
I do sometimes, but
Can you add a toggle that when toggled on,
sound futuristic?
say Splinky.
I'll add a please because I've been kind of
Yeah,
thanks.
Add extra Splunk. I want more Splunk.
And I want to see if it like because that's interpretive. If Splinky is so broad and vague, I want to see what.
Look at that, look at that.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm telling you, these things, again, so when I said these, 2.5 and 3.7 Sonnet, those two, and maybe DeepSeek, have common sense.
I should have brought my laptop to install. I am actually ready
Yeah, if you get it, I'll set it up for you.
tonight. I have to go home and just start cracking into
I'll
it.
set it up,
I love
set it
it.
up if you want.
I got my laptop here, I'm just
Yeah, I've been doing everything through just ChatGPT.
It's obsolete. You're using a year and a
Yeah.
half old.
I'm also
See,
a
I
product
didn't
manager,
realize
so I'm
that.
not exactly doing this.
Yeah.
But also,
Please
like,
make this email more
but
clear.
here's the thing: no one saw this fucking thing coming. Google just comes out one day like, oh, yeah. By the way, everyone's like, what the fuck? Like,
The reason why I said I'm not surprised is because Google tends to do shit.
no,
like
it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
It
For
does.
3 years, like every model they put out has been trash.
that. It has been trash.
Like
It has.
I was a huge Dennis Sabat fanboy when he did AlphaGo and all that, so I had high hopes for Google. They've been releasing trash after trash after trash, and then
They
suddenly
have.
one day they wake up and they're like, oh, we're ready to start dominating the world again. Like what the what?
Yeah.
And then the stock goes like 50%
I know,
down.
what the
Like,
Yeah.
Let's see what it does here.
Do you think that's because they have so much data already?
No, so there's a lot of politics apparently within Google. So product teams,
Monkey mode! Alright, let's
Oh,
hit
hold on,
it.
hold on. I want to hear it without Splunky mode first. Turn up the volume
Okay,
on
now
it.
hit it.
It has a slider.
Okay.
It has a volume.
Oh, it
it
does?
has a volume slider.
Okay, now let's see. Hit it?
wow.
Maybe. Oh, it's
Wait.
got no sound now.
bug.
Hang on. Is there the remote? No, we don't
No,
play
we
with
can-
that. So.
Okay, so maybe change it to
No, hold on, it might just be a bug. Let's find out.
try Splinky mode.
Maybe refresh
like,
it.
hey,
and
Play
don't-
some other sound.
refresh
hold on.
and don't change the.
Oh yeah, it's a bug.
So you can.
Oh shit, I need to go move my car.
Uh oh. So there's a bug in the Splinky.
You know what? I'll go move it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in the middle of this.
Thank you.
Where's the park?
Right in front. Which one?
Okay.
I brought
Oh,
your
it's in
parking
my-
space, Donny. We
It's
should
in
have
my
came together.
jacket.
Yeah, we all should.
We
Well, I
all,
had to
I could
come
have.
back.
We could have come together.
Yeah.
Silly. I wasn't thinking.
Fix the Splinky bug.
Yeah. So by default, it can't look at the console output, right? So. Yeah. I mean, we can do that, but. So I don't even have to explain where this is. It'll figure it out, right? Like. The thing is, again, this entire code base is in its short-term memory. Like how crazy is
Yeah.
that? Like
It
humans-
has taught itself what it's done.
Yeah, so sitting there with its eyes closed, like, okay, yeah, that's what let me follow here. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why.
Thank you. Come on in.
Okay, let's get Splinky.
Hi, you're in this meet, man.
Hey, Jerome. Lambo. Nice to meet you. Better.
Nice.
Lambo.
Oh, yeah.
Donnie, nice to meet you.
Now let's
Let's
splink
see
it
the
up.
splink.
Splink it
Without
up.
Splunky or without Splunky?
Without Swanky.
Alright, splink it.
Monkey.
And you are.
Like,
We got this one!
That is Splunky. That is Splunky.
That is exactly what.
That's insane.
I would. That's Swanky.
This just got created like 2 minutes ago.
So, can I ask you to do something?
Yeah, of course. Do you want to have contact?
Or even you can ask it.
Are you nervous about talking to the superintelligence?
Just right, instead of sliders, instead of using sliders to control parameters such as reverb,
You'll get it. Like, instead of
instead of
sliders.
sliders, use a mix knob, use a mix knob, rate knobs, rate, R-A-T-E, rate knob,
Mix knob.
mix
rate.
knob, comma, rate knob,
Ah, okay.
comma, mix, rate. Suppose what else can we put into this?
There you go, mate. This is both for you.
Uh,
I'll grab your jacket. I'll put it in the door.
rate.
One thing, I'm going to encourage you with.
Yeah, do it. I'll think of other things. Listen,
That is great.
I'd say try getting it to add in a like analog saturation feature
yeah.
for like a record player or a specific piece of equipment.
Okay.
Like,
So,
Yeah,
what do I-
use it, mix, rate, knob, and just write etc because it should be able to get the rest of them. And also, comma, also, please add like tape saturation.
Yeah.
Tape, yeah, saturation.
Yeah.
See what, yeah, see what.
2-inch tape saturation.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I've actually
Are you familiar with agentic AI
A little
model?
bit. Yeah, getting into it more.
This is wild.
That's really cool. It looks cool.
We're literally just creating a fucking in. So,
So it's written 100% of the code. We haven't.
Yeah, I see that.
After we've done this, I've got like the next level question. I don't know where it's gonna go with it.
Nice.
Splunky 2.0.
Not even so.
Can we ever go beyond Splunk? Is that even possible?
Too much
Ask
point.
it.
Why don't we say make another option in the toggler for beyond Splunk?
Ooh.
And have it as like a toggleable of the 3 options with a little like.
But the interesting thing is, it added the Splunk, but what it has done is it has added pitch bend and extra reverb and delay and stuff to the noise, which means it has actually coded a way in which it is able to add pitch bend to the noise. Which means
I don't know what that
It's
means. but-
fascinating that it takes Sploink and turns
And
it
turns
into
it
what you're saying
Wait,
right
did it
now.
not add-
yeah.
Because I would never be able to understand that.
So pitch bend is basically you play one note and you turn a knob and it moves from this note up to this note. By going,
Oh, it just added.
So, but it figured out for that word that's what
Right.
we're going to do.
Yeah, and it sounds.
But it didn't have that built in before. Like it didn't have a pitch bend feature. So it has coded itself a pitch bend just to satisfy the words.
For me, the most impressive part is that it understands what we feel a Sploink
Yes.
sound like, and it sounds like a Sploink.
Yeah.
Because when you say Sploink,
Yeah, it does. It actually
that's pretty
does.
ambiguous.
Yeah.
You wanted actual knobs, right? Like.
Yeah, no.
No, I don't think he's got it. So.
It doesn't know how to. Just sliders.
Yeah.
But if it was able to do wet or dry here.
No, I think yeah.
You've been using it mostly for advertising and stuff
Yeah.
like that, right?
Yeah. This is Klein.
This is Gemini 2.5, Google's new model.
Yeah.
Klein is what I'm using for integration into the editor.
Oh, I see. What is Klein, like an extension? Or?
It's an extension, the VS Code extension. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty badass. I just discovered it, or like you installed it this morning, and I'm already blown away.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna sleep tonight.
I'm going to we're going to a concert there and I'm
Oh,
going.
yeah.
I'd rather just sit home.
Yeah.
just
I need
try
to
my
sleep
headphones
tonight
and
too.
just start fucking about.
Have
Yeah.
a podcast going at the same
Yeah.
time.
The thing is, if you wait 2 more days, I'm sure there's gonna be something that's
I
better.
know.
I know, it's so
It keeps
fast.
changing, yeah.
It's so fast.
So fast.
Oh, it had actually explained why it didn't go for knobs, but okay, I've asked it again.
It explained why.
It's like, as I mentioned, creating fully interactive skeuomorphic. It had said this earlier. We didn't even.
We didn't pay any attention. That is true.
So let's. I still like to get back to talk about it's seeing its own creation.
Hmm?
Because we have Klein, which is
Yeah, but remember, these are all different companies with different products. There's not
Yep.
one product, right?
for sure.
Let's see what it did there. Nice.
Okay.
I just don't
Okay,
think
so can you pull the knobs? Okay, that's weird.
It turned knobs into sliders.
Oh.
It's it. You see, what it's saying is it's hard to create knobs.
So here
with
I
the
would-
browser.
Yeah,
So
right.
can we use the web and pull up maybe an image of it, and then we'll just take a quick screenshot?
Do you know how
pop
to
it there?
code?
We could, but like
No,
I would
really
have to
not.
also,
No,
I think,
I'm more of
interact
a-
with it to
like-
tell it how to solve this problem.
I studied code in
So
college.
it's giving me
That was, like,
options. It's telling me,
years ago.
you know,
And
like
now I'm like
blah
not
blah
really.
blah. So I would have to
Hold
give
on,
it more
you did?
precise instructions here.
I could try typing and see. Let's see if this works.
I'm a technical business analyst.
Yeah.
For well, I'm not anymore. I finished on Friday. yeah. Free. So yeah.
Is that your
yeah.
choice?
It's a contract.
No, but it
position.
explains
So
why it
I-
didn't do
I'm
that
a contractor.
earlier, right?
I
So-
own
Are you gonna
corporations
look for the same work, or are you gonna?
I'm gonna DJ and do videos and stuff, and then we have a trip to Asia for 3 weeks in May. I'm actually going to Taiwan for the first time to meet like Lucy Tomlins.
Oh right, that's coming up.
Yeah, so it's in May. So that's what I'll be doing for a while. I'm gonna do like a bunch of. I bought like the little cart that I had my DJ equipment in last night, and the idea is to just park up somewhere, pay for parking for a couple of hours, go set up by the side of the seawall, throw up my camera, and just start recording and DJ, and just start playing all around Vancouver.
Yeah.
Throw up, like make a little sign with a QR
Yeah.
code or something, link to my website,
Yeah.
and good to go. Yeah, so I'm gonna do that for a while.
What's his name? Felix Cartel?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does so many little pop-ups and stuff around. He's huge now.
Yeah. On Skytrain and the beach.
Slick, yeah.
What is
Yeah,
Which is-
we had a bit of a party yesterday, and
Oh yeah?
he had 3 people playing it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I
no,
only
it was
heard-
just me. Well, two others.
Yeah, I was only hearing it for Amy's first
Lucy
visit.
was.
Yeah.
So
And genuinely,
don't
I
press
was like-
enter yet.
I was like, holy shit. Because she plays at home sometimes and she's like fucking about figuring things out.
Okay.
But like
When
she
you're done,
played
don't
it
press
last night
enter.
and I kept
Yeah.
it going. I was like, Jesus, you're
Sick.
like, after improving so much.
Awesome.
I've been teaching classes.
yeah.
So
Sweet.
I've taught like 6 people
Okay, I
over
wanna
the
even
last
talk
4
about
months.
Oh, yeah.
And they're all got to and we're like we played first time in front of people like last night, early. Like I've been playing get 30,
Oh, yeah.
30
So
years
what I'm
or
gonna
so.
do is I'm gonna get a
They're
first
all
plan on what I
they're
want to
really
do.
good now.
Great
So
idea.
now we're like
Oh, see
organizing
what's
stuff
gonna
and
think
into the
of.
summer we're probably just gonna throw like I might start setting up parties and
That'd be
throw
sick.
parties.
Yeah.
Although at this point we should
The
probably
first
start
games
splitting it
for
out into
like
neat tasks because its
shit.
knowledge, its
Yeah.
memory is probably getting pretty full.
Yeah.
So
What
after
about
this
you? What
we'll
do you do?
maybe start new stuff.
Right now I'm in real estate.
Nice.
Sales, yeah, real estate agent. I'm trying to set up a moving. I used to have a moving company, and I'm trying to get it back up and running again.
Sweet.
More on a delegating side.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is so far. Trying to do some e-com as well. So just dabbling.
Yeah, I like this plan.
You know any plans on using AI to build that and for
Yeah, I do. Like I was looking into AI, like PhotoGen and VideoGen with like Pika and Midjourney and stuff.
this is wild watching like we're literally just he coded a Tetris game this morning but just asked it literally just the first prompt was just can you make a Tetris
Yeah,
game?
yeah.
Or something literally.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh yeah, here you go, here's Tetris.
Yeah.
And you're like,
I've seen people make like Minecraft games and
Mhm.
like flight simulator games.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy.
And it's really good code too, generally
Yeah.
speaking. Like it's
I'm
doing a
really
good job.
interested in the agents that can do stuff like browse the web for you.
Yeah,
Right.
agents are interesting.
I saw
Okay.
someone.
This is an agent. This,
Yeah.
yeah.
This Oh, right. I did have a question earlier that I didn't ask. Do you can it make its own code more efficient
Yeah.
if you have a lot? Does it?
Yeah, you can ask
You
it
can
to.
get it to.
Yeah.
Find redundancy in the code and just cut it out.
Yeah, but usually like I mean,
It's
right,
pretty
decent code.
pretty decent.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's
Do
have a
you,
look.
response.
What have you asked it to do?
Ooh.
There we go. That is what I was
Ooh.
thinking. Now let's see if the interaction. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. You got it.
Oh, it's
Got it.
is it not? It's not following the. It's
That
still
says
the,
low should be bottom left.
Low should be bottom left. What do you
Yeah.
That was
So that's off.
That should be off. But we
Yeah.
explained that to it. So if we try playing now, now let's really
Yeah,
crank
turn
up
your
the
delay
reverb.
rate down as well.
okay.
Your top right.
So it's a little finicky to get it working.
Okay, because I think it's probably still thinking up down.
No,
slide.
No, it's just this code would be honestly very hard to write.
Yeah.
I'm impressed that it got
So-
it this far.
Do you know what? On sliders on can I try it?
Yeah.
Because on sliders on let's see if it's
I am okay.
no, that's the exact way it would work.
It is
Oh,
up and down.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So it's up to control
that's
it.
impressive.
Yeah,
Holy
yeah.
shit.
On Ableton, that's how
So
it
we're
works.
thinking about actually
So
gripping
you're
and
just-
pulling
that's
that,
what I was
and it's
trying.
thinking
Yeah,
up and
That's
down.
you're not used to doing it, but like that's how I would control
That's
a fader.
impressive.
Yeah.
That's
Actually, it got it perfectly. That's
Oh,
exactly
neat.
how you do it.
That's wild.
Now let's put the splink on.
Yeah.
I went out and bought the car, came back, and the whole UI had transformed.
Yeah.
Went from sliders to
Yeah.
that.
But this was like a heavy.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
here is really good at PMing the agent,
Uh-huh.
the model,
Uh-huh.
because like he was able to give it like precise instructions about like, hey, this is what I want you to change. Like I want you to think like la la la.
He's vibing with it.
He's vibing.
Monkey triangle. So we gave it the
Can we
words,
put one
right,
more thing
right,
now? I
and
wanna-
it
I wanna
just
see if I can
decided. That's
do you
all
want
we
to
gave
do?
it, and then
Sure.
it decided like it has like a pitch bend type. Like it actually, as you said, that was right.
I'm gonna try two more things. One more to refine the sound,
Yeah.
and then I was actually
so
thinking, what would happen
This is insane.
if we
Yeah,
said
those
this is a great
monkey
web
ones,
app?
that's insane.
We'd actually like to
The
code a
interpretation
version
of it was
It's
that would be a
perfect,
VS
spot on.
Yeah.
format instrument I could use in another
Scary.
tool.
Yeah.
Like what
are the VST?
So VST is a format of like an instrument type. It's like a plugin
Yeah.
that you can use in like audio workstation software, and that has an interface. It'll have some code about the sound generation. I wonder what would happen if we said, "Can you write something in
So
that
it depends on how much of that is seen in its training data.
format?" Okay.
Like it's basically like, you know, for any developer, if you haven't seen that format, it's going to be difficult to necessarily write against it.
What do you do? You
But one really cool thing about these models, by the way, is you can just teach it stuff. So you can take an AST or VST manual, paste
That's a
it,
good thing you don't write
be like, hey,
code,
read
because all
this.
those people who spend
Read this
2 years learning
first,
like
and
that.
now give me one.
Yeah.
That's cool. Because you can take all the shitty VSTs.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
planning. That's
they
what
take
I'm
it
doing in my head because I'm
Right.
like I understand how these things work, and there's certain things the VSTs don't do that I'd be able to be like, could you do this because this would be a nice feature,
Yeah.
and like if it can do it really well, then great. But the problem is
make me an API.
the
like,
best
with an
VSTs
optical
use
character,
emulations
like
of
an
real
OCR,
hardware,
and then I
analog
download
hardware.
something from, Google,
And like this is going to be
Python, and just code
super
everything
digitalized.
with this.
As in,
And
it's
then
going to
spit out all
code.
the
So you'd
names
actually need
of
to
the photos,
code in
do Excel sheet.
imperfections
Yeah,
in the
mind-blowing.
code base
Yeah.
in a way that like
Yeah.
I think this
if you turn an analog
I don't know where I
every
wanna
time you
take it,
turn it,
but
it's going to be a bit
There's so many
different.
things that can be.
And that's what gives an
So
analog,
Donnie, my friend there, he had
real
a
synth,
he had
a
a
warm and nice
he
feeling.
changed
Like
brokers.
noise,
because
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas this is going
So
to be
he
so
had a bunch of
perfect
transaction
every
documents
time
with the old broker,
that it's just a
but
bit
he didn't know
robotic.
the average
So you nearly need to build that
It's
in.
like, holy shit, it's
And
gonna
be
be
like,
weeks to
actually, can
figure
you
it out.
like offset
Just upload a
this
bunch of
value
PDFs
by,
to the
like,
system and say,
yeah,
figure
plus
out
minus
the
1%
CD.
direct cycle.
Spell out
Right.
exactly what values we verify.
Yeah.
Okay, and you'd be able to tell it
Yeah,
to do
that's
that.
right.
Something.
Even last
Do you know
year,
SIGGRAPH?
you know,
Lando?
Strata documents.
Set it
There's like
SIGGRAPH?
500, 600 pages of research,
It's
right?
there's a
Even
conference
last
coming
year,
here
I
this
was
summer.
plugging
It
in
comes every
into
3 years now.
You've got a DAW keyboard and
Specialty
Hi.
graphics technology,
Hi.
but it's like everything.
You gotta check
I
out
wanna
what
see
the
how
guys
which
are
would-
doing.
nonsense.
So like
He what
Kieran
didn't see it.
Animation Studio.
Kieran made a
Modeling
doinky
companies.
This
I made
was
a
created.
doinky
You don't understand. This was
piece.
created in the last 30 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
It's amazing.
It's got
the
Doinky,
coolest-
Kabloinky,
How do you
and
play it?
Spoinky.
I
I
don't
don't know, I want to hear what
What's it
Doinky and
Yeah,
Kabloinky
this
is.
is-
Let it finish it.
Yes, thing, and then we go back and
SIG.
Okay.
I think you'll be gone.
I wonder how it's going to do a
Yeah.
multi-selector.
Is
Is it
SIG
radio
graphics.
button? Alright, it's cool. GRAPH.
Also, yeah, at some
So,
point you should probably
so
switch to a
you
new
could go to
tab
conference.
for a new
But
task
also,
because yeah,
like, when doing that,
working memory is
Same.
probably pretty
Last
hard.
Yeah, you look up research
I might
papers
know.
from
And before we do it, actually, I want to
Yeah.
do one more
because
modification to the
people
UI on the radio
publishing
buttons.
through SIGGRAPH.
See how it
You
does.
do
They probably publish
No, I think
numbers,
long
term.
and also like
Any of the
posters.
other
Some people
models
have, like,
by this point would have been falling
multiple
like
references.
getting confused and all that because
Visualization.
the amount of working memory they
But
have
I
is
used to
limited.
look at
Actually
that.
have like
So about 100,000 tokens, which is like
Was it a
100,000
professional
words.
bullshitter?
specific.
So think about it this way.
What changed? I got sick of bullshit.
If you just remember the
No,
last
you just do it when it cuts the back off.
it just kind of loses
Some
it.
of it's audio,
That was when I was in the
but
Middle East.
particularly
Qatar
for
and
your
Dubai.
Okay, can we do one more thing
I
with the
mean,
UI?
That's what I did.
Okay,
That's something for
so-
advertising agencies.
Why do I
Like
think you used to work on the oil rigs?
Yeah.
Fuck no. You don't look like an oil rig first man. No.
I don't know. VSTs and stuff
Sometimes-
are really cool to write something like that. The first
I
thing
wish-
I want
no, that
to do
would
is
be cool.
now let's do a
Badass
donkey
for
version.
now.
What is this? Where it doesn't even have to sync. It doesn't have to. It just needs to be just
Weird.
random
Okay.
visuals.
That's kind of doinky.
And
Yeah, I have no idea.
So we've got a bit of a
software and just have
It's
those.
so different. Why did I do it to my brain?
Well, I guess making the Middle East, you just automatically, oh, Middle East oil.
No, I don't think so.
Did you tell him to make a
How to
keyboard?
look, how to get cameras to look around corners.
So
Like,
clear.
just by using
basically-
words, yeah, no code.
What's
like,
the
make
other?
code.
What's the other stuff? How do we go? We got Kabloinky and
We
Spoinky.
got 2 more of those. Sploinky.
I'm gonna go back. I want to ask it one more thing. Let's see if we do this.
To add a stanky,
That doesn't
Oh my
sound
God.
bad, actually.
Skanky.
Why?
Can you make
should regify it.
Yeah, see, this is how
Doinky and
he's making it do different things.
Kabloinky quite a bit different from each other?
Gemini, once it becomes self-aware, is gonna hunt me down and make me pay for all this.
No, you're being super kind to it.
The selector.
It's so
It's like, you wanna use your
Fire rate selector on an MP5 submachine gun.
Oh my god!
And what do you say on a skanky mode?
Yeah.
So, do
And
you
also-
pick which code it goes?
Or a like not
when it
parallelized,
starts, you probably-
a serial
can-
scan.
you can
can
hide.
modify all
Wait,
that.
what do you
What
put
is
in
the
Python?
language?
Just
And
20,
in a
25, whatever you can say
completely
is
new area of
There's a word for this now.
As
It's not
someone who's
white
never
code.
coded before,
White
what's the
code.
difference? Should I?
Well, I
Just
will
tell me
say
which
that
one you
something
use.
document-
If you want,
Can you have a new
It's built user
parallel
interfaces.
Why?
filter?
Then
You
use
might
JavaScript.
go- You gotta like
If
feel
you wanna
it,
write
it feels you back, and
if you wanna
and
create
back.
The toggle
something that's
on on or
Like
off
a lot of
that
data
is
processing,
called
then use Python.
Skanky.
Skanky,
So if you're probably going to
Mode.
use interfaces, right?
and then
Most likely.
create
JavaScript.
some sort of distortion effect.
Well, skank
That would-
is like a way of describing kind of reggae
Be
elements of reggae music.
by
see if we can do that.
Does it make sense? Lights?
There's one system I'm using right now called Voya AI for my real estate ads.
Yes.
You plug in pretty much a description and it
I'm just
creates the
downloading
creative description and
I
title.
assume I need an extension.
Okay.
Oh, you don't need
Right,
to
yeah.
thank you.
Nice.
Like reggae,
You don't need to do
skanky.
anything.
Just complete gibberish.
I
Oh,
So like we gave it words.
Wow, so there's like testing and then
Let's do a skanky.
It'll
Kaboinky, doinky, skanky.
that's nice.
Yeah,
So
what
for
are
the-
the? It's actually.
So okay, so for this,
Look, you can see
you're
it.
gonna have to. No, it's aistudio.google.com.
Like, are you usually happy with the output it produces, like the copy and the headlines? And
Yes,
everything?
that's
Is it compelling?
Yeah, it's pretty compelling. I got like
And
22 leads in 3 weeks
Yeah.
or something. So like one
That
day.
is not
Yeah.
half bad.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like 5 more a day.
It made a mismatch.
Running like maybe 4 or 5 different campaigns, all with like 15 each.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
so
But honestly, I don't know. Like
Gemini.
this stuff growing so
I wonder if it's
fast,
gonna know what an
I don't know
MP5
how
fire
to
selector
use it.
looks
Saying
like.
how to
I don't.
use it. I think the market
That's,
were a couple
that's
like
like semi-automatic automatic.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I don't know.
It's like a 30-degree toggle
like,
switch.
but it's right there, right there.
That
Yeah.
Can you
And
see that? It's pushing it out.
So what does that mean when you say it's writing
So-
code? Is it giving you the, it's forming the answer?
So you know how you tell the computer what to do, right?
Yeah.
That's what the code you say, right?
Yeah,
So a computer doesn't understand
do what
words.
Claude does, which
For
is
example,
it
if
can
you want to add
open a
new
browser,
numbers,
like
right?
something.
You would say, hey,
Yeah,
let's
you're
keep the first number this,
You don't
the
need to
second
do
number
that.
this, now add them,
No,
now
this-
print the result. That's how you write. That's where you go. Here you say, hey, add two numbers to your result, and then it writes the code,
And gets the
and
computer to
then
do
you can
it.
run it.
Like,
Oh, you need to
because you're
be
being
in some
interested in AI.
folder, so
I'm in just my
Um,
deep folder.
But like there's a lot of stuff in here.
Doing shit for
Like,
me,
wanna
but
create
just
this
like
one,
to
one,
write,
It's for a
So then go to
computer
file,
experience.
open
3D printer profile and development profiles. Like I put on a new nozzle,
Yeah.
which is high flow, so it'll have some
Alright.
different things. And
See
you can
around
watch a bunch of YouTube videos or
I actually almost got it, Donnie.
and I would start a new
export these
folder
files
for
when I
every
get home
project.
and
That's
have,
the-
Go.
and
Oh,
have
no.
quick
Oh, what the?
Another command V.
Donnie, you broke.
I'll
Yeah.
have to get back for
Also, there is a
What broke?
It just turned off. Oh, did it?
for
For,
3D
battery
printing,
mag?
there's like
concert.
Yeah.
mesh files.
You're pawning
and you'll
too
be able to
much.
take
Oh,
mesh
yeah, yeah,
files
yeah.
Battery down?
and
Oh, wait,
use
no, it's
solve
here.
it
Yeah,
with
yeah.
programs
Watch
that
out.
have
Wait.
different
Just
parts of them to create a
It's a
solid
good
model.
lie.
Yeah.
So
So what
instead
could
of
that
just
be
making
messed
it
with
a
the
flat
connectors?
surface,
Or is there?
it would be one
Okay,
surface
so I think it's done now. What do we
that
do?
I can then
Done?
like click and
Run command?
remove.
Do we run command?
I guess.
So I'm not using
and
Windows.
that would be that would
Do
save
we run command?
me from
What?
having
Do
to
we
buy
run command?
software that's
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what it's
$1,000 per year
asking,
that I
but
don't
sure.
need.
Yeah.
Talking about whatever.
Who
it
knows?
is.
Oh, yeah. This is
Yeah,
So
the
you wanna
point.
do this one?
Are you
the
running
boinky, non spoinky.
Yeah, more like industrial
Alright.
design now.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, that's weird.
That's awesome.
Refresh the page. Refresh the
We'll
page.
see. It's
Okay,
I've tried before and it's
skanky
I
mode.
have to fight
Okay.
them a lot.
Hey, it's definitely gone.
Okay.
Oh,
It's
that's-
gone real
It's gone way wrong.
with the client.
Refresh the browser.
Oh, you know what it's doing?
Yeah.
It's using the
Yours is
whole
way more
function.
technical.
And now you can just.
Yeah,
It's
would that
so-
be
If you scroll down, you'll see the spectrum as analyzer.
Yeah.
If you hit
Maybe
the
we
also
can
like,
sort of change
I need
modes
to
here
create like a
and do the better tasking
business
video.
model
Yeah.
and plan
That's a
like
different facet.
infrastructure
Yeah.
starts selling.
We'll let Kieran finish
Yeah.
this
Well,
thing.
it's
and
way worse than the last one. So
Yeah, this is what I mean, right? So you need to kind of like,
photo of the product.
Yeah, the recording.
if you don't,
What's the
describe
video
it,
thing? Thanks to
it
Daniel.
described what it was.
so
I
that
love
it
that
was
you're
3D printed
actually
without me
setting it up for
and then
yourself.
help you
So
there's a very
maybe
cool
with
video
I
that
was very
Have you
excited.
seen that
and
one?
now
Ah,
there's
it's
too
not
much.
yet.
I don't know what to put up.
Code creating 100 names.
Kieran's
Just
seen
wanna,
this
like,
one, I think.
iteratively
The
go
very
through and
tasking
figure
video.
out a name to them.
Not that I do it over. I don't think anyone else has seen it.
Yeah,
So.
it can do everything for
This
you.
is like for
Yeah.
somebody who
Especially
doesn't
with
really
agents,
understand
you
it.
can
What I'm
create like
seeing here is
Well,
this has
I don't-
fundamentally changed how we
for me,
interact with the internet
concept
and
of
computer
human in
and
the
what
loop
we do.
is
On
where
the productions, on the creations.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I hate the radio.
AI,
I don't understand
if
it
we
either.
just let AI do its own stuff, we never
It's
get what we want.
outrageous.
We need the human intervention.
I'm looking at it as well, going, what the fuck?
And so, yeah, the end goal for me is never to have it like do what I want, but get to that human in the loop intervention point that
Not bad, eh?
Yeah, it's really cool.
allows us with a different kind of brain to do something better than it does on its own.
Yeah.
To make sure it actually fits the demand.
You gotta see this one, love.
And so setting up your moving company, even though you've done that before, like probably get to build you a bunch of forums and stuff to like just speed it up.
Yeah, like the website is all AI.
Derek Hassium
Nice.
AI.
Yeah, like that's even integrated. Like I made one with Wix, but it's
What if all of the
expensive. So now
How
WordPress
do
has
you-
their own AI creation
how do you still
tool.
have
You
ads?
can plug in where you want.
I don't.
Or you can
Oh,
say
where
like,
has
I
he
want to
that?
change this
Try
page,
that.
and I want a form here and pictures here. Use my pictures, and it boom, boom,
Shouldn't
boom.
after
Okay.
pay someone
Yeah,
for it.
it's really fast.
Who just adds these?
It's just
Not
on the WordPress.
Yeah, it's within
Actually,
WordPress.
I'm
If
not
you-
paying
yeah,
for
it's-
Amazon.
It's all updated.
I have like
Shame on you.
I have Wix as well.
Shame on you.
Is there a reason
My
you don't?
website hosted with Pork
What?
Is there a reason you don't
But
have?
what I'm gonna do is
I
probably
didn't have
just
one.
pay for a bit more storage and just code something.
But
Use
you
But
AI
yeah,
just
like,
directly.
it's better
Just
to
get rid of
kind
Wix
of follow
and just use my own code base in the back.
Yeah, I was going to
implement
suggest maybe to
Just use AI on a source code level.
Yeah.
Paste
And
it
yeah, I
in
mean,
folders
here's
and
the-
chop them.
You should try your best to follow it along with whatever it's doing as it's writing the code. Because sometimes, yeah, it could kind of like go off the rails a bit and you have to
What
bring
my
it back.
passion is, quote unquote, I don't know. Like I'm licensed in real estate now. I think there's huge
Oh, that's
potential.
Yeah.
I also want to replace real estate agents. So I don't know, if getting paid $10,000 to write an offer is acceptable with all this technology anymore.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of pushback. Like it's really being kept.
Yeah.
Like no one is gonna want to do that except for the actual clients.
Of course. But if you can save someone X amount of money, you can undercut most of the market and take some of that for yourself.
Probably gonna get reported before I can do that. I'm gonna get sued. But that's the dream, yeah. It's not like a Zillow or Redfin kind of thing.
Next to a major transit hub, there's so much empty or like derelict space. Like these warehouses are
Yeah, they're owned by the city, so.
empty lots.
Any chance there's a good space for a fucking raid?
So empty.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
This one is
Right?
about
Yeah, that has to be.
Yeah.
There's gotta be places like
Oh,
just
I
for
forget
these
fucking
one
about
of
that.
these.
You know what, I
Very
bet-
shitty. A lot of
I
them
bet
rented
those
out.
guys,
The vault was
whoever
over
owns the
here,
parking lot, is
and that
fighting
got
with the
closed down
McDonald's
for
trying to buy the McDonald's.
The vault, yeah. That
The
was
McDonald's has already been sold.
I think
Yeah.
this one
Okay,
is
so
all
someone's
hard
I don't know if
stuff.
this is
Yeah,
the
they're
same
making
people.
The one here with
but-
Red Zone.
Yeah. I think
Man,
that
Some
one
is-
is
that's a
completely a gallery building.
McDonald's.
So it's
Yeah.
rented out to all
They're in the
like,
real estate
artists
business, right?
and stuff. They
Yeah.
might have a couple
there.
spaces in
Okay.
there for raves.
Obviously.
Burgers is just-
Although it's really close, so they might get some sound, some like noise complaints.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of residential buildings here though.
No,
yeah,
these
there's not,
ones
you
are
can't
like
get away with it.
these ones are like low income housing, I think.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, it's temporary
yeah.
modular building.
Yeah, it's pretty cool how this is set up.
I don't know. Cool isn't the
No?
word for it. It's inefficient, I would say. But
Oh really?
it is cool. It's unique.
Inefficient in what way?
I don't know. It's just a lot of bureaucracy, like
Oh, okay,
politics
okay.
keeping.
Right. I mean, yeah, that sounds like a Vancouver.
Yeah.
But I think this size for the transitional housing is perfect.
Yeah,
Because it's not too many people that like one or two like a homeless shelter. You got most people in there are getting taken advantage of from other people.
Right.
Here with these, I was thinking about talking about this last week, but I feel like that's the approximately right number of people where like the few people who are working there can see first of all and possibly intervene if there's people who are like robbing everyone else or
Yeah. That said, we have fire trucks or ambulances about twice a week on average.
That's not very much.
Just for this particular, just for this one unit.
Wow. Because I think that some of the ones like down Howard Johnson is like every few hours.
That's what I would
Wow.
think. Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
more like what I would expect. Two a week
big,
is
too
pretty
many
good.
people in one spot.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's that low actually.
Yeah, and a lot of the ones that were in East Hastings would often have problems of fires and things like that.
I see.
Yeah.
There was one in Gastown that actually burned down. Awful.
Yeah,
People died
yeah,
there.
Damn.
Really?
Yeah.
When was that?
I want to say about 2 years ago. There was some
It was a
shops
while ago.
downstairs, and one of them was a watch shop, so I know about it because we had watches there that they were repairing. And they were in these big safes. And as the fire started, they had something like 7 or 8 minutes, and they just grabbed as many as they could and tried to shut the
Wow.
safes. 3 of the safes completely burned through, but 2 of them fell through the floor into like
Whoa.
water from the sprinklers in the bottom, and the watches inside were intact.
Oh,
Yeah.
lucky.
Was it you?
wild.
Was your
Ours
watch
was in
safe?
the intact.
Ah.
Oh shit, that's so insane.
Go figure.
Wow.
That's a great story for your watch, eh?
Yeah. And then they started a new business in Gastown, so they got a new location, but a lot of the equipment he had was like very old, specialized watch fixing equipment that you can't buy.
Oh no.
That's so.
He lost a lot of stuff.
Ah.
But it was awful because there were people upstairs that also died. But I think it just
Yeah.
got started in the unit. People were like lighting shit on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently there had been a lot of fires there already, and then one
Mhm.
time, it's just gonna spread and
Back on the AI stuff, but I was thinking as well, there's probably going to be, maybe there is already, like a good use of
Are we
like
still recording? by the way?
3D printing type stuff, where it's
So
like
you never know when
tell
you're
it
gonna
what
get
to
gold.
do. There's a model of like a vector of some
Yeah.
sort, and then there's a like 3D printer if you want.
Not this
Yeah.
is anything we're talking about. This top secret. I guess we're always
Yeah.
being recorded.
That's
I'm
right?
sure-
Maybe bigger.
Do you think so? Do they
100%.
really have
Yeah,
that much
I know that's a-
space to record
people do it for, like,
everything?
They probably don't store it. They
Trading
get
actual
the
games and
key
stuff?
data out of
Yeah.
it, and then they
So,
delete
Yeah,
themselves.
so they're able to do for that
This is
type
something
of
I wonder.
program.
They like
I was thinking about that today actually, because you're right. It wouldn't really make a lot of sense for
Yeah,
all
just
like the
No,
banal
I mean, it's a
Yeah.
basically, I see like a word cloud
Yeah, be doing some mad shit.
rolling,
for each of
pull
us.
something
and-
out, action, delete the rest. But I also always wonder about delete.
Mm.
When it comes to something that's gathering that much, like, will they really hit the limits of their storage? Like, how do they determine? Is anything ever really deleted? Or do they just keep sticking it into more and more?
So here's the scary thing, right? Like, so there was a time where you could get away with security by obscurity because there's all this data, but clearly who's gonna go and look at it?
Mhm.
Now, thanks to AI, you can be like, hey, can you go read the entirety of Kieran's online presence across time for the
Yeah,
last...
since he was born. And now give me 5 key insights. And it would do it in like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Show me across all these distributed camera systems this person and where they've been in the past 10 years. Can you
Yeah.
see a pattern?
Yeah.
Have they done anything strange? And just like query it like that and it'll just pull
And
it up.
here's the other thing too, right? Like in the past, like you could say that, oh well, data, like big data has always existed. You can go and query for data. But the thing is, you needed to know the question beforehand, right? So to run the query would take a long time. Here you can be like, are they doing anything sus? It'll know what you mean.
That's a good enough prompt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know one of the lads in work?
Actually, it figured Kabloinki meant.
Yes, yeah, some kabloinky.
Yeah.
It is some kabloinky. It's insane.
The one of the lads in work yesterday was showing me that he has created a AI piece that
Okay,
like
okay, perfect.
exports what
Okay.
you ask it into a podcast form. So
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
want
yeah.
to,
That's
if you want,
Google, that's Google LM,
Wow.
LM Studio. Or
yeah. So LLM.
No, LLM is what these are.
Okay,
But
sorry.
it's called LM Studio.
Sorry, yeah, that was like.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's insane. So he
Do you want your other
wants to
plan?
figure out about a certain topic and learn about it. He'll just
Or
export
do
it
you
to a
want to take another
podcast.
time?
Check out this.
Because the other
There's
one
this really
has
cool.
one in
No, there's 3. So the one has a plan in it, but the second one is ready to go.
I'll take it later
Yeah,
because
sounds
I still need to like put a shoebox.
That's called
Sounds good.
Sesame.
Sesame.
Oh,
So-
Sesame's cool.
It's so cool. I was
Yeah.
blown away by like
If you
how
haven't seen
good
the
it sounds.
video, I would recommend
For some
watching
reason,
it.
when I tried it, like when it's speaking on speaker, it gets
This is
confused because it
rich.
hears
It's
itself.
called
I need an earphone for it.
the most useful thing.
I
yeah,
use it on the computer and work it
Right,
with
right.
phones, yeah.
But yeah, then it's shockingly good.
It has pauses, it does humor, laughing, you know.
It just sounds real.
Called? Like you said,
Like I found that
And
I
what's it for?
Interlingual.
It's just understood.
That's fascinating.
But
So
apparently
it's like
it's
you're going
licensed for
to
commercial
read
use.
it.
Right. I want to pull something like this and try it to.
That's years old.
Talk back to customers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or even like a call center for
Yeah.
phone
Yeah, we know.
calls.
I
So-
had
So if someone like that is making like thousands and tens of thousands of calls.
Right.
That kind of language, you can guarantee it's better than hiring like a overseas.
I mean, it's happening. I'm
I was
sorry, like,
well,
oh, you're ready now?
Yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah.
And then go.
Are you out?
What's your name?
Jerome.
Jerome, nice to meet you, brother.
Nice to meet you, man.
Hey Lambo, make sure you watch this video.
Cheers, bro. Good to see you.
What is it?
See you too.
Make sure you
Yeah.
watch this video.
Send me
This
the,
is-
send it into the chat.
I will do that, right?
I think I've watched this show.
See ya.
Send me that.
I'll take a picture with the boys for you to prove it.
And now?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
wait, before I go
no,
photo.
definitely. One of those, I think that's probably one of the first things that's gonna get automated.
You alright?
Oh, I guess you guys gotta go to the concert pretty
You know,
soon.
call centers are worth
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
We're doing
Yeah,
it.
or Philippines or whatever.
So Amy will
Yeah,
probably
no,
set up yours
and-
whenever.
I'll probably, like, the thing is, like, with, like, if you automate, call centers, the quality
you're
is
ready for
also
the night,
not
yeah.
bad. It's only way better than the answers you get.
Thank you.
So I think call centers are the first. Second, even like the offshore coding centers, they're dead. They're so dead because like quality
Are you going to
of the whole
Yeah.
year. And like I've worked with those
You're missing out.
I know, I'm
outbound
gonna be
or like those
Yeah.
offshore.
He's excellent.
You have to tell them so much to get anything you
I was
saw.
on
Here,
here,
just like in the first prompt, it gets
And it came out
and it delivers high quality. So there.
Yeah, or you can create the language within the AI. Like for Sesame,
Right.
it has
I know she's only
restrictions
a
built into
I was
it,
like-
right?
like,
It
he was
has-
singing
it has
live,
restrictions
she was
built
like,
into it, and it
no,
doesn't have
like
sensitive
she
information.
was shocked.
Yeah.
So you can't ask it the founder
She
of
told me I'm
Sesame.
so
That's
short and so
right.
proud, and I didn't even see his
specifically
face.
code information, do what you want.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So you put it on your shoulders.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
I was very impressed with how natural it sounded and like how smooth the whole process felt.
What are your interests and plans with AI?
It's not correct.
Thank you for the honesty.
No,
Yes.
I like the first 5-7
Curiosity about the technical, so I didn't really have
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
anything I
I
want to do
know,
with
so I
it yet.
don't like
Yeah.
being
So I just play around with it and like,
yeah.
So
like
it's
this
good
tool,
to do
like I
Frank
use
Coulson
clients
just to
for
get
I've
sort
heard
of
of it, but I
like,
haven't
like,
really.
and then
But I've heard of it
yeah,
and I just
He's there with memory of-
exactly,
yeah, releasing a few days ago.
Yeah.
Tried it out, I was still blown away. I was like, oh man, I have to try this
1
out.
out of
Have
3
you used
men.
Gemini?
Yeah, I haven't used Gemini, I've used the OpenAI.
But we'll do it because they're
Yeah,
genuine.
it's really good for like complicated
head out.
searches
Just
for
So good to
like.
see everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hey, can I take a picture before you leave?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh yeah, picture time. Everyone look like you're nerding out.
Yeah.
I have to go to my glasses.
Okay, give me your
borrow
phone.
mine.
Everybody settle
Nerd.
down.
It looks really good on you.
Do we go over here or here?
It is really good.
You're joining in there as
Oh,
well.
yeah. Oh, this side.
Excuse me.
Wait,
Oh,
let
that's
me
in there.
let me get a prop.
Nerd party.
Nerd.
AI.
Use the internet.
Everyone look smart.
Make sure.
Shit, I look like smart at home.
On here, maybe we can fit one more. Oh, okay, that's great.
Use the internet.
We're all here.
Are we actually looking at the, or are we looking candid?
No, you're kind of looking at me right now. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute. Just 1 minute. 1, 2, 3. One more. Wait, for some reason. Oh. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Can I get one more, please?
Polaroid.
Oh, Polaroid.
Okay,
This thing is great.
Oh, that's yours.
this is the one, right? Okay, trying to get everybody in frame. Yeah, Danny will like that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My eyes.
Thank you, boys.
Thanks, Andy.
I like how none of us remember to take pictures.
Yeah, I know. It's usual.
Well, that's because Daniel had a video of the whole damn thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, I have to look at
Alright.
See you later.
Have fun with your projects this evening.
Oh, do you want to go for
Yeah,
a
it's still
walk?
going. Nice.
Yeah, Mike.
Have your thing downstairs, your...
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh, bye, Mike. Nice to meet you.
So what do you?
See you there, lads.
See ya. Peace.
Have a good one tonight, man.
Yeah, cheers.
See you, mate.
With AI?
Yeah.
Also just exploring,
Right.
it's really cool.
Right.
Trying to keep up with everything, but
Yeah.
it changes like
Shit changes so fast.
Yeah.
Like every 2 weeks, there's something completely new.
Yeah, I used a lot of like brainstorming stuff just for the chats, but I was making creatives with like Midjourney and Pika as well for videos,
Right.
for ads, and I was telling, and there's one that I'm using that will create ads from a prompt, like the headline, the description, all the creatives,
Right. Wow.
and it'll.
So you work in marketing?
I'm a real estate agent.
Right.
So kind of. And it'll make like 16 different copies, mix and match of the
That's why.
things, and it'll automatically integrate with like Meta and post them for you.
Right.
I do split testing. and then promote the ones that work well.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then it'll auto-optimize, so after a few days, like these ones get more views and clicks, these ones don't, it'll kill these ones.
I need to play with AI tonight. I'm already working. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm already working on something for my
So
phone.
like $5 a day, you get all this.
Do some product strategy work for work.
Yeah. There's a lot
The
of
problem is
things,
like I like using
areas where I
the
just
ChatGPT on my
being
phone
really
because
useful
then
for like
when I use the ones
things
which are
like
work proof,
optimization,
which I can actually use
Yeah.
live data, they're
it's
sort of like
useful to have
handicapped
kind of
versions
just
because they're the
automatically
ones which are in our
trained on it.
ecosystem.
Right.
So I get more rich answers out of cheap.
I want to,
There's a case to be made for your
yeah,
company
maybe like
renewable
the closer
guardrails
stuff.
because it's
Right.
holding you
Start
back,
something
holding,
like that with
holding
Sesame,
you
for
back.
example.
I think it's the
Yeah,
reason we have
the
the
one thing we
guardrails
have
is
to kind of,
more
like,
for
be aware of is just
compliance
because
ins and
stuff
outs.
is
So if we
moving
write
quickly,
anything like let's play
Yeah.
with
by the time you
financial
build
data,
up
Yeah.
the product,
like, hang on,
someone
you
come
know,
out
I think
and
that's
just
been an
get rid of it
enterprise
from
blocker
bullshit.
since the beginning.
Exactly.
Like there's so many things
A
that
lot of them
we
are just
like
like we can't
Do
use
you
this.
work
plug
with,
in for
with the
ChatGPT or
solutions that
Yeah.
external tools
sort of
that are
would be
now just
vulnerable
built into
to
ChatGPT.
security
But
threats?
hopefully I can use it for my
100%.
own purpose.
Like,
Yeah,
banks.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You're pretty
Like, we have
open
some of
with
their
it, totally
information, we
makes
put it
sense.
on LLM
Most
and everyone else.
conservative institutions.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
get
know,
lost.
it's a little overwhelming sometimes.
Hey,
It's a lot.
Not that we'd be putting
Yeah.
that, even internally, it's not really best
Everyone's
practice to put that
overrun.
kind of stuff into an LLM anyway.
Anyone who's paying
It's just like
attention is overrun.
names and,
Yeah.
and things
A lot
like
of
that.
people
and
still
plans
think
we've
of it
got.
as,
Like, you
oh,
want to keep that. You don't
sure,
want that
you can
leaking out.
like
No.
draw some funny images with it.
Even so, like our
Yeah.
model, I think draws in
Some of my
on
mom, like-
GPT-4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So-
you can figure out how to use PowerPoint.
I just find
with it.
Copilot is
Right.
not great, the
Right.
Microsoft one.
Like she was getting so stressed. Like,
Yeah.
how do I record my voice? How do I put my
Right.
face here for a presentation? Like,
Right.
I know
there's even,
Microsoft's
like,
they
built-in
have
AI
their own
in
51%,
Yeah, there's
open
not
AI.
really getting.
and then they have their own Copilot. Right.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know.
Copilot's integration.
Yeah, this
with
is the
Microsoft
new
Suite is really
interface
good.
for
So, for
computers,
example, if
right?
you're writing an email
Mhm.
or a
Voice
document,
and
just
just
press the
talk
little
to
button
it,
and you
tell
can
it
do
what
it
to
right
do.
from in there.
I
So
was
that
telling
sense it's really
facts
good.
earlier that
I find it's really, really good for
we were
writing,
saying
rewriting stuff.
even now
So reasoning
the
and questions.
longest, the
It's
thing that
very
takes
confusing
longest
very
is
quickly.
you interfacing with it
Mhm.
almost, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know Elon's doing is
Neuralink.
Neuralink.
Oh yeah.
So once that integrates with, I mean, obviously this is going to get faster and faster. Once you're just thinking into the computer and it's
That's
spitting out,
Yeah.
probably almost instantly it's going to spit out or whatever you want. You're going to say yes or no.
Hmm.
You can integrate so quickly.
At that point,
That's-
it's just a part of you, right? You're a
Yeah.
joint consciousness. There's no back
Yeah.
and forth. Like you're feeling it.
But here's the thing, like
Oh,
that
sounds-
is also how a lot of dystopian
For sure.
situations happen. Right?
Because
Can
you
you
know-
imagine like you're walking down the street and there's an ad projected into your eyeball?
Right.
Or your
Yeah. Or your brain.
yeah.
I'm paying $10 a month for the ad-free version.
Yeah, ad blocker and your
Yeah, until you think a forbidden thought and they just
yeah.
like legitimately like so much of the technology of the internet was co-opted.
100%.
Like it started out beautifully.
That's how it
amazing.
goes.
So that actually terrifies me. The more powerful this becomes.
I don't think any force in the world can be hold back enshrification for too long.
Except open source. That has been the one counterweight constantly. Anytime companies like push too far in one side,
Yeah.
it's just volunteers getting together and saying, "Fuck this, we'll create our
course.
own thing," right?
Yeah.
Like, and that's why I use Firefox, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's the last bastion. Like, everything else has fallen, everything else has given their souls to Google.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this Firefox still, despite all its flaws, they're saying, "No, you know what? Fuck you. We'll do this because we can." And that's why, yeah, like the fact that an open source model like DeepSeek R1 is as good as it is gives me hope, because otherwise, if it was just the fucking Sam Altmans of the world running this, oh man.
Yeah.
Sam Altman built this company that would use a sort of digital ID system for you that can never be changed in the name of like, oh, it'll make authentication easier. as if that wouldn't immediately be co-opted by governments to, you know, kind of like completely control your actions.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's these same guys are the ones who are going and doing shit like that, right? Like, which is why
Yeah.
the less control they have over our fate, the better.
Either they are sellouts or they are hyper optimists who just can't see the negatives. So,
Not much. We watched.
Oh yeah, are we?
yeah,
How do
good
you,
play.
how do you guys know Daniel, by the way?
We met
Party?
at a party.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Right, a couple year and a half ago, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
How about you? How do you know? each other?
We were part of a
Right,
finance.
WFG.
Yeah,
Yeah,
WFG,
right.
right.
And then-
European game, finance.
Yeah.
Right.
So, Kieran and I already seen this video.
If
Something like, well,
all of the
you guys haven't, right? So it's.
I think I might have, but
Okay.
I'm gonna
This is definitely worth a watch. All right, let's watch it. I don't
What
want to
if all of the world's biggest problems, from climate change to curing diseases to disposal of plastic
Oh, all right.